Hey, noble ones, welcome, welcome. How you guys doing? Hey, Anon, Gold Blood. Hello, that's a cool name. So you're already sharing your opinions. That's fantastic. That's why you're here. I'm glad to listen to all of you guys so you can help me make sense of this situation that, yeah, I know some people will say, why do you care? You live in Sicily. I'm like, I've been living in the United States for 3.5 years. I mean, seriously. I live in America. So, yeah, I'd like to know. So maybe you can help me understand, make sense of the situation. Titan Bro says, crazy times we live in. Man, I can say amen to that sentence for a veritable cornucopia of reasons. Like literally, it's like something happens every other day, doesn't it? At one point it's the aliens. Well, talking about aliens, I got a recording for you guys. I made it myself, talking about aliens. I made a recording, so stick around, particularly if you're watching the VOD afterwards, because I'm going to share with you a recording and just reminded me something happened outside my house. But anyways, apart from that, we get like aliens, and then this, and then that, and then a bomb, and then this other situation. It's like something happens every 2 days. What's going on? But yeah, welcome, welcome, noble ones. Today, really looking forward to have this conversation with you, so you can teach me a thing or two, and I will humbly receive your knowledge. Talking about knowledge, man, I'm all over the place, am I not? I think the video is actually doing pretty well, but as you probably know, I made a public statement just 2 days ago. In fact, it was yesterday. I can't even count. And it's this one here. So as you see, if we go into the posts, which used to be community tab, but of course they change names all the time. I told you that for those of you who are not into the React content, I know that many of you are, by the way, but there are some people that are not, and they're very vocal about it. And I respect you all. I appreciate all of you for being here and watching my content regardless. But I did say that I was going to publish a full old school video, 8 pages of script about pure historical analysis of the origins of the Greek, to continue a series that, you know, I've been working on for a while. Well, the video is out. It's been published, and it's this one here. Yes, I know, I look dashing, and it's been doing well, actually. So I'm actually, how many times I'm going to say actually? That's the problem with going live. I'm rather astonished by this video getting a nice green arrow number 3. But if any of you hasn't got the notification, that I would like to rectify that. The video is here. I think it's a nice video, and it took me some time to put it together. And yeah, no, I've got quite a lot of other videos like this in production. So I would like to say, since I'm going to continue to post daily for the foreseeable future on all my channels, then yeah, maybe next couple of uploads are going to be, we'll see what they're going to be, but then expect more, because yeah. So yeah, this is where we are. But anyways, what I'm interested in is figuring out a little bit this whole situation. So I've got apparently Iran trying to strike back. We've got this video from Preston Stewart, who is someone I watch occasionally on these things. We'll have a look at that. And then this guy here. And then I would also like to watch with you the full interview of the Vice President J.D. Vance and see what we can learn from it. So we're going to do that as well. But how are you guys doing? Let me read a little bit of your comments already. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see what we've got. And hello, everyone on Twitch as well. By the way, I downloaded 5 more horror games just for you to know on Twitch. It's gonna be great. Boetius, $5. Thank you for the support. Trump just announced both parties have agreed to imminent ceasefire. Well, that's good. Well, that's good. I mean, what are the... I guess what I would imagine the Iranians would do, we'll talk about the bombing, by the way. I do have a few things to say, but what would they do? Yeah, I imagine attack assets, American assets in the Middle East. I can't really imagine them trying anything with the US homeland. I mean, good luck with that. But then again, good day. Power 2, thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. Hello to all the Muppets. I'll be getting the chat on and off a few times today as we discuss that. And yeah, I know that there are already a few replies from the Afrocentric community. That's exactly what I was expecting. It's all planned. It's all part of the plan. So I'll check them out, see how they are. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Don't worry about it. It's all it's all pre-calculated. Anyways, let me see. Minerva, what a name. Hi, Metatron. Greetings from Poland. Greetings to you. Greetings to you, Minerva. Love your name. Good evening, Muppet, says Aris. Good to have you here. Okay, okay. And let's see. Maybe the aliens did it? No, I think the $2 billion B-2 stealth bombers did it. And by the way, I've got to respect the technology. Those war machines are impressive. Impressive. But yeah, I mean, I say this, of course, I don't like war. I mean, who likes war? Well, I guess there are some people that do. I don't like war, and I pray for all civilians. I do want to start the video by stating what I would consider to be the obvious, but in these days, with the people that have access to microphones, I'll just state the obvious as much as it needs to be stated. I always pray for the safety of all civilians and innocent, regardless of ethnicity, religion, background, country you call home. Innocent people and civilians, I just hope that they are okay everywhere, regardless. And we'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. Okay, then we can discuss all the geopolitics you want. Not that I'm a tactical expert analyst, but that's why I'm saying I'm here to learn from you, because it wouldn't surprise me some of you are technical experts. Can you see people in the comments? Yeah. Lauren Hughes, thank you for the support. It started with Isaac and Ishmael. Oh, goodness gracious, you go really... Yeah, I guess, but we don't have time to look into that, do we? So maybe let's try to figure out immediate possible consequences of what has happened and whether or not, you know, we can discuss a lot of other things, I suppose. Thank you. Power to all. Sadly, Iran has denied any talks about a ceasefire, and as was told by another live streamer 5 minutes ago, Iran will continue fighting. Well, you know, that doesn't necessarily surprise me because, I mean, not that I think, I don't know, I've heard about these sleeper cells, so the terrorist aspect of it is the only one that a little bit I'm like, maybe we want to stay away from main cities and main plazas for a little bit, and please do stay safe. But when it comes to actual symmetrical war, I don't think they have the capabilities to do anything against the US. I don't know about US assets in the area, though. So there's that. But yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. And I'll tell you why it doesn't surprise me. We'll go into it. Thank you, Dracus. Hi, Metatron, as a new member. Hi. I've got some good news for you. I like oh no. It's my favorite topping alongside prawns, olives, and squid. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, add some. Yeah, you know what? You deserve a B-2 bomber onto your table, though. Just the table. Not you. You're fine, but the table. If the pineapple pizza is there. Safety pin. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. You say it is obviously a war. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, it's. I hope I hope it's not a repeat of the USA-Iraq situation, because I would not want to have to deal with that. To be honest, again, as someone who lives in the USA, in the United States of A. So that's what I'm hoping. I hope that it really is something that now that we did this show of force and precision, then that's enough to kind of come to a conclusion. But you say it's not even close to that. Well, that's good. That's good. No boots on the ground. Exactly. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Let me see. So thank you so much for your generosity, Alamandorius. I appreciate that, man. $50. Easy enough. Iran is a country whose government starts each of its sessions with chants of death to America, Israel. Yeah, I mean, sure. This is one thing that I think really puts things into perspective. And yes, I don't think a country that says this should have access to nukes. I mean, that's to me, it's not even like, oh, but is it a partisan take? Is it is it this take? Is it that take? Is it populist? No, I think, I mean, yeah, we can have the nukes and they can't. It's as simple as that. I mean, to me, death to America, you have a problem with me immediately. And the reason why I think this is the case, and I'll continue to read this, but another major difference, I think, between Iran, not an expert, so you'll correct me, just don't get mad if I say something you think is incorrect, just let me know, I'm here to learn. But I'm just saying, they, as far as I understand, their regime does not have a differentiation between church and state, which, as a religious man, I say there should always be. And because otherwise, this is what happens. And also, let's not treat all religions the same. Let's not treat all religions the same. Because tell me, when is the last time that a Buddhist exploded himself in a station? When is the last time that a Buddhist did that? I'm going to continue to read your thing, but I'm just going to keep an eye on MIGA. What is that? Make Iran great again. Oh my gosh, MIGA. Yeah, anyways, I was saying, so yeah, so, you know, once again, I don't have any problem if with a little family, mom, dad, and 2 kids, they're Muslims, but they're peaceful people. They have nothing against Christian. Then I have nothing against them. They have nothing against secular people. They don't call me an infidel. I don't have a problem with that. But let's be honest about this. Not all religions are the same. Tell me the last time you were afraid that a Buddhist would do something violent and physical with explosive and stuff like that. So they are not all the same. Hence, if an Islamic country with this kind of rhetoric is starting to, you know, if they start to talk about death to America, yeah, they can't have nukes. I agree. At that point, I agree. Also, I honestly don't believe that this is something that was done on a whim. I really don't. I really don't. I think this was planned, and I'll tell you why. Planned for years, and I'll tell you why. I think that. So yeah, no, the separation between church and state is necessary in situations like this, right? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, I think I like to consider myself an open-minded individual in the sense that I never put innocent people into one package. But at the same time, I'm not going to say the politically correct thing to be like, oh no, you know, all religion are the same. No, Islam gets very violent, and we know that, and it's the truth. So at one point, it's, you know, particularly with regimes like this and the stuff that they do, and the difference between, imagine if America didn't have, and this is my religion, but imagine if America didn't have a distinction between church and state. You know what happens is that the states start to enact laws to remove individual freedom, which is exactly what happens in these states, in these regimes. It's like all the laws about women, how they need to cover them. No, it should be a situation where if the woman is Muslim and you know, she follows the religion, she wants to cover her face, whatever. But if the law gets involved, and if you don't do it, then bad stuff happens. That I'm going to have a problem with that, whether it be Islam or whether it be any other religion. But once again, tell me the last time that the Buddhists were a threat. Maybe in the Middle Ages, sure. In feudal Japan, I imagine there were a few monks and scenarios like that. So I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm just trying to keep it real. Always, the innocent, I have no problems with them. But leaders, like the super general, whatever this, that said horrible stuff and the stuff they do to women, and also other people, we'll talk about that as well. And then they take him out. Well, at this point, I'm going to say good. Just as long as leave the innocents alone. That's what I'm going to say. Even Metatron is hooked by propaganda. Well, explain to me then what I said that is incorrect. Feel free, if you think that I'm saying something that is propaganda, then open my eyes. I'm wealthy, but tell me, yeah, tell me what I did wrong then. Here is what you need to know. Iran wants nuclear weapons because they want to wipe Israel off the map, and there will be 2 Fs, and then go after America. Can't allow that. Yeah, I mean, that is what, that's the thing. If the West said this, but Iran never said anything, then I would be like, is it propaganda though? Are they trying to justify something? But they do chant death to America, right? So at the end of the day, I know that they said that like Israel government has been saying that, oh, Iran is on the brink of developing the nuclear. They've been saying that for 30 years. I get that. But on the other hand, yeah, they do say death to America. So I'd rather they didn't have a nuke, honestly. So there is that. That doesn't mean that I'm pro-intervention, by the way, but I'm just trying to say, well, it already happened. So let's discuss it. Pros and cons, negatives and positives, possible threats. That's really what I'm doing here. I know exactly, but you have to go back to the freaking Middle Ages, Andrew. That's what I'm saying. Like, tell me right now a Buddhist that did stuff like that. So yeah, they did it, although then again, it wasn't really the monks, it was the government. So it was the government that did that. So once again, we do need to draw a distinction there. But yeah, no, sure. Let's see. So let's see. Here's another one. You say Trump had the balls to do what needed to be done. I'll tell you one more thing that I believe. I think even with a different administration, the same thing would have happened. I really think the same exact thing would have happened. If you think, I've read a couple of people saying, again, I'm not a pro-intervention guy. I'm someone who doesn't know, and I'm trying to make it make sense. But I've seen people saying, this is not what I voted for. Do you really think that your vote is irrelevant, in my opinion, when it comes to this type of high-end decisions within the military? And I'll tell you how I justify that. I justify that because even though there is an illusion of choice when it comes to situations like this, meaning that I want to be left wing because I want to support Palestinians, but I want to be right wing because I want to support the other side, Israel, whatever the heck. I'm just saying a generalization. And then Biden says we stand with Israel. There is no choice. This would have happened with Biden. This would have happened with Harris. It just would have happened anyways. That's what I think. And the reason why I say this is because, and I don't know if they let that one slip, but I listened to with my own ears. They said that this bomb was designed to take out that specific bunker. That means that this is not something. This is something that's being planned, I think, for years. Personally, how do you design a bomb to take out a bunker if this was not already in the, like, it's the split second that the public is told about something, it means that information is no longer, like, it's always on the need to know, right, with military stuff. And I do understand that that's a necessity. But we have known about this bunker. I checked this one up before the live stream, and we have known about the bunker since 2009, which means that in American intelligence, and at this point I'm going to say Israeli intelligence because they seem to know what they're doing. They're very effective. They probably have known this since the projects, when they were even building it. And once again, to give you an idea as to why, what happens, I'll read the super chats in a second, but what did the guy in England say? What's his name? Starmer? What's his name? I can never remember. Starmer, UK. What did he say? 1 second. I want to make you laugh right now, just to show you. Left wing guy, same stuff. Same stuff. Left, right, that's all that it's irrelevant when it comes to these things, guys. They all say the same thing. And in fact, I've seen his statement saying that Israel is allowed to defend themselves. They all say the same thing. Biden said it, Trump said it, they all say the same. So there's that, guys. There is that. Don't for a second think that your vote has any influence when it comes to top-tier intelligence, secret agencies, and military choices. At least that's my opinion. This is all my opinion, by the way. This is all alleged. I don't know anything. I'm just commenting on a pattern that I've noticed. And anyways, I want to say thank you, and don't want to be disrespectful to all the people that are donating here. So let me see. Thank you so much. America's obsession with the Middle East will supremely backfire one day. I hope not. Intel, I really hope not. But that area clearly has a very important geopolitical weight to it. Hail Metatron, we do not eat pineapple on pizza with rat stew. Oh, goodness gracious. Still preferable over pineapple on pizza. Lord Visa, thank you. Here's what you need to know. And I think I read that one. Intello, even Metatron, yeah, you said that. I see if you expand on it. Metatron, the issue is that Iran funds basically all Islamic terrorist organization. Absolutely. That's a big problem. I have a problem with that. They want nukes to destroy all who opposes radical Islam. Right. that's why I say, and I think everyone says this, no one has a problem with the people. Maybe this will be a good opportunity for the people to take the government back, like actually have an election and choose who they want to be governed with and have a better situation. That's what I hope for the Iranian people, to be honest. I watched a few videos of Iranian women, and the stuff that they said made my skin crawl. So there is that. Now you can tell me it's propaganda, but I'm going to believe an Iranian when they talk about Iran at this point, and specifically if they're talking against the government. Because if they're talking proactively for the government, then I'm like, is it propaganda? But if they're actually saying this, the stuff that they are saying. Stone Rain 2013 about Gaia was an event by Buddhist. I'm not aware of that one, so thank you for pointing it out. Let me see. My family fled the Islamic regime. There you go. The Persians reject the Ayatollah and want them gone. Absolute. Great. Thank you for confirming that. And I understand that. Absolutely. Iranians are not the bad guys. Like, this is clear. Iranians are not the bad guys the way I can see the people. It's the government. It's their government, which I do not like one bit. Iranians are happy about the USA's actions, but we are afraid, of course, of continued Israeli bombs. Persia predates Islam 1,000 years. Well, of course, yeah, I understand that totally. Thank you for sharing that. Mihoville, there is a great interview on trigonometry, Kissin's channel, from this weekend that gives great context to the situation. I'll have to check them out. Thank you. What does Kissin's channel mean? I guess this is the name of the channel, so I'm going to just open a situation here so I can learn. I think I found it. Okay, we'll check him out. In the meantime, let me continue with the super chats so I'm not disrespectful. The minority Muslim community, the Rohingya, were literally attacked in K by Buddhists in Burma. So you're liberal, not Christian. Don't lie, Metatron. Your English broke at the end. But anyways, if this is true, then I'm sorry that happened, of course. Who were these Buddhists? Well, I guess then I'm wrong. When it comes to that, I'm fine to be wrong. With that being said, maybe the Buddhist, maybe it's something you have between Islam and Buddhists, I suppose. But I never heard of a Buddhist causing that kind of trouble in the West. So that's probably, it's a Western perspective, the one I'm having. But then again, I am in the West and I live in the West. So clearly I'm not going to have a Eastern perspective. So I appreciate what you're saying. Also, did you say lie though? You're going to be blocked. If you call me a lie, if you do that again, I'll block you because I don't appreciate that. Yeah, you did say lie. Sorry, you're out. I don't allow people to say that I lie. So you're in timeout for 30 minutes. Nathaniel, Metatron, its national interest. USA supporting its allies in the region absolutely guarantees the Middle East, second largest oil producer altogether, stays in a sphere of influence to keep transport costs low. I understand. So you think it's oil? It's probably deeper than that, to be honest, but I understand if that's one of the factors. Gianfranco, first stream I've ever visited ever. Hey, Gianfranco, thank you for being here. First thing I hear is Metatron calling for a B2 bomber on a guy's pineapple pizza. Yeah. Greetings from Peru. Un giorno visiterò la patria dei miei bisnonni. Fantastic. Perfect Italian right there. And then with Persian, yeah, I read that one. Please watch Wesley Clark talking about 7 countries in 5 years. Doesn't explain everything, but it's another wee piece. Thank you so much. I do appreciate these, by the way, very much. So thank you for all the channels that you are suggesting. And usually after these streams, because the VODs stay up, I rewatch them myself and take notes because I can do that. I can just look at the fan funding and then take all the notes. So I appreciate that. As a Canadian, I apologize for the Hawaiian pizza. Yeah, it's our fault that that abomination exists. Thank you for, now you need to repent. I'm surprised Italy didn't form the Roman Empire again, the march over. Yeah, I mean, if we were still a Roman Empire, I guess that could have happened, but Italy, probably not. I love Iranians. I hate the IRGC. Lauren, I think a lot of people share this sentiment, and I'm going to say I share it too. The Iranian government, the IRGC agent found several days ago at the Tree border area in South America smuggling pounds of funny white powder in the USA. Might find it interesting. That's crazy. I didn't know about that, Nathaniel. The Persian Moslems did not put the Ayatollah in power. Exactly. Britain, the US did through regime change. Yes, I'm not aware of the history. The Ayatollah was backed by communist revolutionaries. I understand. Aren't they still allies, though, with the Russians and the... well, not Russians are not necessarily communist anymore, but with the Chinese government? Are they allied? You let me know. Eddie, Israel was training with US Air Force during Biden. Yeah, and practicing to bomb these facilities. Exactly. Weird how left or right both serve the same. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if I call them masters, but still, yeah, the interest is the same. And it's obviously, it's so clear. Someone even commented on Starmer's statement when he was saying Israel has a right to defend themselves, said Starmer, Labour Party. And people were like, I'm losing my mind. And I'm like, why are you losing my mind? Did you really think that these people? Yeah, so that's that. I guess that confirms it, my hinge, my inkling. Mr. A, if a pineapple pizza should be legal, absolutely. That's the only thing where I say no freedom, guys. If I learned anything during over a decade in the military is that regardless of who you vote for, your voice won't matter in times of war. Yeah. YouTube channel, the new Atlas has best info. Thank you. I'll check that one out as well. So thank you for all the support. Let me see how Twitch is doing. And the Centurion says, I have made, or mad, I think you mean respect for you, Metatron. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're very welcome to be here, Benjamin. Check out Tusi TV. He's Iranian and good coverage. I'll absolutely check them out. Thank you so much. And let's see. I want to see if I can study a little more about the actual technology. I'm surprised that these bombers still have the human component. I thought that by now everything would have been AI when it comes to the operation. I mean, we're going there anyways, in that direction, aren't we? Hate the government, not the people. Exactly, Dormant. Absolutely. Yeah, okay, so Iran called, this is an interesting one, and we're going to review this one too. Iran called the US and warned them about their attack on the airbase in Qatar, Iranian theater for their country, providing they want zero smoke with all that. Yeah, honestly, we'll cover this. We'll see the situation, because of course they did try to bomb this US base, but the US base was already evacuated, so I think it looks theatrical. It doesn't even look real. Yeah, I mean, you have a good point, Item Bro, when you say if you remove the human component completely, then we would have to be afraid of AI bombers getting hacked. Sure, I understand that part too. I guess although then again, well, yeah, I guess that could be one of the reasons why. Thank you, Math79 on Twitch, for subscribing. I appreciate that. A lot of gaming content coming soon. And you know what else is coming soon? A new Metatron plushie. So just to lighten up the situation before we go back into the war, this is the previous plushie that got sold out. It was funded at 238%. Well, and developing a new plushie. It's already made. We already have it. We might even show it later on. So stay here for the stream. But I do want to suggest to you to go to makeship.com, because we're going to launch, and this is the first time I say publicly, we're going to launch the new plushie, which looks like me. It looks great. It's me. It's going to be a limited edition, specifically Metatron Pedantic Edition. It looks like him. It's got the hair. It's got the beard. It's got the brigandine. It looks fantastic. We'll show you later. And it's going to be launched on the 10th. It's going to be launched on the 10th. So and it's going to get gone quickly. So at least I believe. Well, definitely, because this one already got gone very quickly, and that one will as well. So do go to makeship.com. I'll give you a link right now, so you're not gonna miss out, guys, on the new Metatron plushie, which looks amazing, by the way. It's not this one. This is the previous one. This one is the one we did for the charity event. Then I donated the 238% funded amount to here in Tennessee to the St. Jude's Hospital. So this is a different one, but this new one, oh, it looks so good, guys. It's so good. So do click subscribe for email updates on the 10th. Boom. And then, yeah, get it for your friends, get it for your dog, get it for your kids, get it for whoever you want. And it's gonna look great, guys. It's gonna look great. And we're gonna do it as a celebration as we're getting close to the 1 million subscribers. We're gonna do the plushie for the last 10,000 feet, and hoping that we get there. But you know, channel is growing. We also had a little push thanks to Asmongold. I got like 6,500 people off of that Asmongold mention, so that really helps. And want to thank for that. Thank you, Asmongold, for that, Zach. And yeah, so here we are. Yeah, you're right. Everyone commits acts of violence. I do think, though, that when it comes to this situation, we're gonna be honest about it. Because once again, because you were talking about the Buddhist again, you can have isolated instances of violence everywhere. Even with Christians, you have isolated instances of violence, of bombing of like a clinic and stuff like that. It's different though when you don't have an entire government with a military. Because once again, what's the Buddhist country that has a military and is making bombs? It's still different. Like even if my statement was very generalized, and then you can find the little instances where like, well, in this situation, 20 people died, and I'm sorry that happened, of course, because this maniac who claimed to be Buddhist did this. I get it. For hatred between Muslims and Buddhists, I suppose, still you don't have an entire government that is doing that. And that's the big difference that I see personally with Islam. And I just see it. I mean, I'm happy to change my mind, but you're going to have to provide a lot of resources if you want to change my mind on that. Okay, let's see. I've got a few more super chats. Thank you again, guys, for being open-minded, apart from the guy who said that I lied. I hate that word. It's just one of those things. Not that it's like, I still have a thick skin, so people call me liar all the time, particularly in the Afrocentric community. People call me liar all the time. It's not that it's new, but I'm annoyed when people say, stop lying. And I'm like, if I believe it, and I have no intention to deceive, I can be wrong. That doesn't make it a lie. And so now I got to a point where if I see someone, you're a liar, it's immediately blocked. That's what I do. So, yeah, because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with it because people that say that are being emotional. It's like people call you a grifter. What that means is I don't like this single opinion that I disagree with, so I'm going to call you something. And, yeah, I don't really want to deal with that. And I'm sure you understand that. It's been 12 years on YouTube, honestly. And so that's why. That's why. You're a liar. You actually love pineapple on pizza. Man, that would be a monumental lie, wouldn't it be, Titan, bro? And yeah, even the system blocked you for that, and rightly so. There we go, a little more explanation here. Thank you again, guys, for being here. Lauren says, yes, they are allied. Russia told Iran days ago they and other countries would provide nuclear weapons. They're profoundly worrying. I hope not. I mean, then again, though, if they are all being taken out, and don't for a second think that the supreme leader is safe. I don't think he is. I think they know exactly where he is. Both the American government and the Israeli government. And up to this point, they knew everything. So, yeah. I mean, if they're all taken out, all the leaders and all the generals, and then they actually have a democratically elected people, at that point, maybe they don't even need it. And that's what I'm hoping for, actually. Logan, many Americans have heard the same song and dance before 20 years ago. Feels like nothing's changed, not have we learned anything. I can absolutely understand the sentiment. Iran versus the Spartan, who would win? Well, in that case, would have to be Persians, and so we've already had that. We've already had the Immortals versus Persia invading Greece and at Thermopylae, and the Greeks won, so there's that. Mr. Eifer, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Very much appreciated. Alamandorius, I saw a meme once where it was mayonnaise and peas on pizza. Oh gosh, yes, oh no. Followed by call to arms for normal pizza lovers. Yeah, and pineapple on pizza lovers to unite against the new evil. Would you? No, I will never ally with pineapple on pizza. I'll take anything but pineapple on pizza. In fact, I'll ally with peas and mayonnaise against pineapple on pizza. Did you know that? Oh, you may not know this. Man, I'm giving you a lot of announcements. You might not know this, but I've done the impossible for you. I've done the impossible for you. I'm going to give you a link. You should save this link, guys. You should save this link. I did this for you. This on the gaming channel. This is a horror game about pineapple on pizza. Like you are, it's called I Hate Pineapple on Pizza. This was the scariest experience of my entire life, where I had to pretend to be working in a pizza place. They even order double pineapple. I did this for you, which means you did this to me. So now I'm giving you the link to this monstrosity. Look at me. Look at this. Look at this. It's me having to make the dough, prepare the dough, put it in the oven. Where the heck is it? Put it in the oven. Check the freaking menu, which was misspelled. Old Italian was wrong. The game was really good, though. I'll tell you that much. That was fun. to play. So yeah, all the ingredients and whatnot. I'm desperately trying to look, and I'm doing this all for you. So this video deserves 10,000 views. So I'm giving you the link. Don't be muppets. Save it for later. You could click on it and save it for later on a tab. You're gonna love it. I promise you, you're gonna love it. Anyways, let's get back to this situation. The channel Preston Stewards is good for this too. He's here, my friend. He's right here. I'm gonna watch him. We're gonna watch him during the live stream. Absolutely, we're gonna watch him on the second part of the live stream because I know he's pretty good. I think he's based in... Yeah, he's based in Tennessee, isn't he? Brandon, I believe this attack could have been done with or without, maybe? You're trying to say? US involvement, but the result is a positive, even if I don't like how it was done. Well, the how or how it was done, when it comes to precision, was impressive. It was impressive. Now, whether or not we know, because that's the thing. I do believe that at the end of the day, America should think about Americans first before anything else. I do believe that. So do we really want to get involved in the Middle East? I don't know. But then again, I don't know what else they knew. Because remember, if they tell you, if the government, any government, tells you we are attacking because of this reason, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot that cannot be told because of tactical reasons, obviously. There is a lot that cannot be told because I guess it's a need to know with the public on a few things. I wish governments were more transparent. Maybe there was something else. I don't know. Did they know something that we don't? And so this had to be done? I don't know. I have no idea. But I certainly won't put myself in a position where I know it all. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see. Chatter's throwing money at Metatron to influence his opinion like they are APAC. Just kidding. Thanks for your content. Absolutely, man. Thank you. Pardon me, not Russia, Medvedev, Kremlin. Right. No problem. You should look into Dave Smith. He recently had a debate with Konstantin Kaisin on Piers Morgan. Oh, yeah, I did see that Piers Morgan released an episode. I'll definitely check it out. I did see that. And let me see if I read everything. Not yet. Oh, my gosh, Ray Gonzalez with the 10 memberships. W on chat. W on chat for Ray Gonzalez. Thank you so much for your generosity, man. I really appreciate that. Metatron will buy a boudoir calendar starring you. That sounds good. Yeah, so David Smith, we did that. Again, thank you so much, Ray. I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you for the support. Hello, I think you brought me back to 700 members because some members, of course, you know, gifted membership. Sometimes then they expire. Some people renew them. Some people don't. So we had gone a little underneath 700. I think you just pushed us back up to 700, if not very close to it. Thank you, Ray. Hello, Metatron. Hello, Gabriel. I'm going to say something controversial. I do like pineapple on pizza. I hope you're doing good. Cheers. I am doing well. Thank you. And I will not comment. No comment. Operation Praying Mantis video Fat Electrician. Okay, thank you, Fat Electrician. I heard of him. Thank you for that. I don't have any ideology, but Islam is the major reason why India was divided into three. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have heard of that. India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. The Brits didn't want divided. Yeah, I do. That's what, I don't know about Bangladesh, but that's what Pakistan is, right? It's like it used to be India, but then they were mostly Muslims, and so they divided because in India they are Hindu. Martin Lawrence, the fact is, thank you for the support, the US started this decades ago. In the 1950s, Iran had a democratic government and the US and UK helped overthrow in Operation Ajax. I'll have to review this because that could be very interesting to have an idea. Now, given this could give you a very good perspective, but then again, we are in the situation where we are because, of course, there were lots of leaders before with lots of different agendas. Helps overthrow in Operation Ajax and for cheaper oil, I see. And now we start another war. Well, I hope that this is like start and stop. I really hope this is not a prolonged situation. I'm actually curious to see what he has to say about that. Evil Black Metatron, if you missed it, the Crown Prince of Iran, in exile, said this morning is already putting together a transition team to establish a secular democracy as soon as Ayatollah steps down. Great. Excellent news. Pineapple and Canadian bacon on pizza is delicious. No, it's not. You're objectively wrong. Ray, this one is a joke, but you are a liar. You lie to yourself whenever you say elves are anything but bad. Right, I'll agree with you, Ray, but that's not how you spell liar, which is why I will say, yes, I do lay on bed. I do lie on bed whenever I think about elven superiority. So, You're correct. Alamandorius just said an ad show up on your live stream. That's normal. Yes. Yeah, there are ads are everywhere, guys. YouTube has done, apart from the actual war against ad blockers, but now ads are added automatically by a machine, just so you know. And what's more to that I want to tell you is that, because people have told me, hey, you put too many ads in this section, and I'm like, it's AI. It's the system it's a change that happened in May. Now the system finds the correct spots. That's why we are leaving in, as creators, we're living in spots where we maybe need a second to think. We used to jump cut them. Now we don't, because if we are too effective with our jump cuts, we get no ads whatsoever, which of course cannot work. That's how we make money, one of the ways. And so we will leave a few, and then the machine should, in theory, create a good ratio and add ads. The problem is that sometimes the machine goes a little trigger happy with the ads. But I tried to remove some, because I'm like, that's too many ads for a 20 minutes video. You can't. If I remove one ad, it deactivates the entire process for that video, and every single automatic ad is gone. So I can't touch them. Well, maybe if with Patreon support and memberships, I will tell you this much, that if the members and the Patreon keeps going up as it is, I might be able to do like a video maybe on the shorter side, and if this happens, I could deactivate the ads. That's a possibility if it's self-funded. But as of now, I need the ads, but I have no control in the sense that they don't let you remove one or two. Maybe they'll change that, we'll see. But yeah, ads are a thing on YouTube, and more than ever now. The Persian, this is why the Second Amendment is so important. Well, I do agree with the Second Amendment in the US. Say Iranians have no GUNs and can't fight back. Yeah, giving up GUNs means giving up speech later. Ask Australia. Yeah, I do have a problem. Of course, I'm a massive supporter of freedom of speech. When it comes to the Second Amendment, I do understand it, and I do support castle doctrine. And I mean, I own a few of these that I can't mention here because, once again, yeah, so, and I know how to use them. The only thing, there are a few things, like I don't mind background checks though. Like if someone has a history of psychological problems, they shouldn't have access to weapons. That's the one thing that I will say. I don't know if it'll upset some of you, but hey, I'll just tell you how it is. I never pander to the audience. I just tell you what I think. I own weapons, and I do believe in castle doctrine very much. In fact, I respect America because of it. Italy is ridiculous when it comes to these things. Can't even defend my family without being in the position of being sued by the people that were breaking into my house. It's just ridiculous. Italy is a joke when it comes to that. And plenty of European countries are like that. But I do believe sometimes with background checks, I think background checks, at least, I mean, if you're a citizen, you're a regular person, you never broke the law, sure, absolutely. That's the amendment, great. But if someone who, like, sometimes you see like these people, they're clearly not all there, yeah, they shouldn't have access to weapons. Of course, some of these can get them illegally, and it is what it is at that point. But yeah, just to share my 2 cents as a European who is very grateful to be able to live in America and has a lot of respect for this country. Anyways, let me see. Burma is a majority Buddhist country, I see. Government, military, and the local Buddhists, like, so YHH, the government, military, I don't know what YHH stands for, and the local Buddhist, yeah, majority country, okay, but is the government similar to what we have in Iran? That will be the question. Sebastian Lee, is Israel the church or is it the current nation? Israel is the nation. Also, I wouldn't really call it a church. It's a synagogue if we are talking about Jews, the Jewish religion. And then, because there is a distinction also, but you could be a Jew and not be Jewish, and you could be Jewish and not be a Jew ethnically. Although then again, they're usually against proselytism, so they're very different from Christians when it comes to that. So they usually discourage people from becoming Jews if you're not. The way I understand it, you'll let me know if I'm wrong, but I've heard Jews say that, so I mean, but yeah, no, it would be, so yeah, just like in Islam is a mosque, so your church is more of a Christian thing. But anyways, Israel is the state. Persepolis is a great memoir in the form of a graphic novel. Nice. It chronicles a girl's fleeing the Iranian Revolution, studying about, oh, I see, that could be interesting, yeah. I don't want to color your thoughts in which way. Just research suggestion Operation Ajax. I will check it out. Thank you, Lord. And that's why we're here. I'm here to learn from you guys. The only thing that upsets me is when people put in the manipulative language. That pisses me off. But everything else, I'm more than happy to listen and be corrected if I'm wrong. Martin Lawrence, the conversation is too complicated to do, of course, in limited characters, but what happened here before Saddam Hussein, oh yeah, I remember that, was supposed to have WMDs IDEST, and we destabilized the area and created ISIS. Iran will be worse. Oh, like in Ireland, you mean? I hope not. I sincerely hope it's not the case. I sincerely hope that this will have a peaceful resolution. That's what I'm hoping for. Alamandorius in Canada, robber slipped and fell on ice and successfully sued the homeowner for occupational hazard and won. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Here we go. Koro Shogun says, Metatron hates pineapple on pizza, so that means he hates Hawaiians. That's pretty much the Afrocentric logic, isn't it? Not all Afrocentrists, but the likes of that imbecile that now is not posting videos anymore, which is a great gift to humanity, and using the AI-generated voice, ridiculous. And he was saying that Metatron looks down on people that are not white and that kind of stuff. Why? Because I disagree on ancient Egyptian. You're out of your mind. That is the logic, therefore lack thereof. That is the logic of my opposition. Happy to oppose them until the day I'm dead. Yeah. So let's see. GUNs are safe if you stole them properly and have good trigger discipline and all that. Let's see. As a Canadian, I'm not surprised our justice system is utter shite. Goatee says. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't know much about Canada. It's just that oftentimes when I hear stuff, I'm like, really? And then I would have to go and double check, which is why I'm not bringing them up. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. Temple for most of their religions. Yeah, it depends on the religion, sure. Even the Buddhists, for a Buddhist, yeah, I would say a Buddhist temple. The Otera in Japanese, I would translate it as temple. Whereas when it comes to the Shinto, usually they are translated jinja as the term in Japanese. Usually we translate that shrine. Really a differentiation more from a Western perspective, because in Japan, jinja is obviously connected to the Shinto religion, because Shinto, To is the same as Karate Do or Judo, so the way in a kind of spiritual sense, not necessarily, I mean, it can also mean physical if you read it Michi, but it's like a street in the sense of a path. Yeah, path is a good translation, in fact. So Karate Do is the path or the way of the empty hand with the second iteration kanji. And when it comes to Shinto, it's the way of the spirits or the way of the gods. If you want to translate it as God, Kami is the kanji. I don't want to really go into the translation of it too much, but and then a jinja still has the same character, so it has to do with these spirits of nature that we could translate as gods if we want, and so it's all interconnected. Yeah, kind of like a spiritual building. Maybe it's a good way. A spiritual shrine could be a way to translate it. Has any regime change worked in 70 years? No idea, Leva. Hopefully this one will, but I don't know. I mean, it's not really up to us, though, what they vote. It's up to them. They should decide. It's the Iranian people that need to decide who should govern them at that point. Well, there we go in Chinese. Yeah, different for Buddhist and Taoist temple, sure. Cool. Yeah, this is the character that the Japanese use for Buddhist temples too. Yeah. And this is the character for Buddha. So I recognize that. I also found out there is a Buddhist army in Myanmar called the Democracy Karen, I guess. Buddhist army, just found out myself. Okay, I'll look that one up. Thank you. Also, Ray says, I'm glad you have a way to protect yourself, but never let anyone know that, especially the government. Just leave that as a surprise for those that want to harm you. Well, sure, but I mean, I live in a red state, so I mean, it's quite obvious there's gonna be a weapon inside the house, I want to say. And even in blue states, I mean, isn't Destiny the super liberal, and he has got GUNs as well and shows it. So there's that. So yeah. And so Islamic sultans in the past destroyed Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain temples in India and placed as mosques. But yeah, they do that a lot. I mean, to be fair, early Christians did that too in Europe. We destroyed stuff, and I wish we didn't. So, but it's true. I think Islam still does it, and China does it too. Don't they take down stuff? Or maybe they stopped with that. Actually, I think they stopped. Yeah, because the whole new thing with the government now, it used to be in the 50s in China. If you look at the history, the new communist government was trying to cut all the ties to the past. Not all, but a lot of the ties to the past. Looking at it as like imperial China and all that. Looking at it as an ancient thing that has no relevance, but they changed that. In fact, in the last, I want to say 20 years, they've been producing a lot of movies and documentaries that try to create a tether with the past instead. So there has been a change, massive change, at least in China. When it comes to Islamic, I think it depends on the country, but a lot of, yeah, you're right, they destroy stuff, they do statues, and I'm always against destroying statues, by the way. Why are you destroying the statue? I don't see the reason to destroy a statue just because now you disagree with it. Great. And then if people in the future think like you, then they're going to destroy everything we're building now. What's the point? They're going to burn all the books that you believe in. They're going to destroy all the stuff that you like, simply because they think that it's no. I mean, I think the past should stay. The art should stay. Just like when I was watching that university professor, that she was asked who was the worst Roman emperor, and I was expecting what I did. Because I made a video discussing all the analytical takes on how the worst in period. No, she had to say, I have a video about it if you remember, she had to say, well, they were all bad people because compared to now, we disagree with their takes, and great, well then everyone is bad. I mean, what the heck? Can you not read? That's why you have to also disconnect. We read ancient Greek classics and they are marvelous. They didn't think women should vote. If you have a problem with that, what you're going to do? Burn it? Burn the classics? What about the slave owners? I mean, slavery was a thing in classical period, different from chattel slavery, of course. It's very different, in fact. But still, like, yeah, there are different ideas, but that doesn't matter when it comes to art and artistic expression. And once again, by the same way we judge, we will be judged. So and I'm not trying to get religious on you, I'm just saying it's a fact. So I don't like the idea that now we think we're so enlightened. Well, wait 200 years, they might be, if they are like these people, then we will be evil. And I mean, on a few things we probably are, to be honest, but at least the worst among us. So then everything becomes relative. That's why I say, no, if it's a beautiful statue made by Michelangelo, the David, leave it. It's beautiful. Let's appreciate it. Who cares what Michelangelo thought personally, right? Because he was a man of his time. Thank you, Libya and Somalia. Sorry, thank you, Jakes. Libya and Somalia now have an open VE markets after the Obama administration. Oh no, well, I don't know anything about the Obama administration, to be honest. I wasn't even in America. I started getting interested in American politics a little while ago. I didn't know anything, nothing. Like, even when I started making my very first videos, where I was talking about, like, hey, I found these websites that are talking about, I think it was something LGBT related, and I looked at the facts, and the facts were wrong, and so I made a response video. I, of course, always begin with disclaimers saying I don't hate anyone, adults, consenting adults, do whatever the heck you want. It's a free country. But that wasn't enough, and people started to say, oh, look, Metatron is pushing right-wing agendas. And I'm like, what are they on about? Because at the time, I didn't even know. When I started making, this is just so you know, something you've never heard me say. When I started making my first reaction debunking videos, either when it comes to sex and sexuality in classical period, but from a real perspective, not the sort of political messages and rewriting. And when I started to tackle this idea of the Afrocentrics community saying everyone was black and that kind of stuff, at that time, when I started the first videos, I didn't even know what a Republican and a Democrat were. I didn't know anything. Zero. And when it comes to my country, at that time, I wasn't even into politics either. I didn't care about politics. So that was a genuine reaction, and it just so happened that the people that I found, the type of activists that I found were changing history, and as I say, I don't care what kind of politics they have. If someone pushes nonsense, I'll debunk them. It's as simple as that with the team now. I don't care if, but no, because that he might agree with you on X political take. Who cares? It's still nonsense. I'm going to debunk it. I don't care. Whatever. But yeah, no, when I started going down that path, I wasn't into politics at all. I'm more into politics now than I was back then. And certainly, I didn't know anything about American politics. Nothing. So yeah. Let's see. But thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. Let me double check. I'm gonna read a little Twitch as well, but let me make sure I didn't skip any super chat because I don't want to be reciprocated. There we go. Yeah, Mina, are you a progressive Christian? What's a progressive Christian? There you go. Here we're back. No, I'm a Christian. Full stop. I don't know what is the difference between a progressive Christian and a traditional Christian, I guess. Well, you tell me. No, I'm just a Christian. Okay, time for me to go back to work. Absolutely. Thank you for being here, Martin. On a different note, do you have a good book or a documentary on Pertinax to recommend? Not to recommend off the top of my head. My favorite Roman emperor has no content. You are right. I mean, I did mention him, though, a little bit, a few times, but not a book right off my... yeah. Jake, but thank you. Jake, a lot of people have come to the same conclusion. It's crazy the amount of books I have read since graduating high school. Absolutely. I'm glad to hear. And then, hey, brother, best regards from Greece. Hello, love your content. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ. Ευχαριστώ. Very cool, very cool. I appreciate that. So I'm sure you're referencing the video that I posted today. So yeah, I'm just double checking. So you were saying, thank you, Martin. There's one other thing that people forget. The Iranian Revolution happened because people were tired of having a foreign puppet as their ruler. They would rather have religious fanatics than sellouts. Right, but then again, do remember that the revolutionaries don't represent the entirety of the population. And oftentimes they are violent and they will impose themselves. As far as I can tell, and I don't think this is propaganda, the Iranian people at large don't like their government. It's just that they don't have the, I guess they aren't there like revolutionaries that are kind of going to take, I have no idea. We'll see. I think I read everything, yes. Thank you. One of the first things extremists of any religion do is try to rewrite the past in their image. Yes, but also secular governments do that. I think people in power, you could even remove, people in power tend to do that. And if they use religion for it, they use it as a tool. But religion is not the sort of predetermining or necessary constituent of being able to do this. There are plenty of secular governments that do it too. It's just that when they do it with religion, it's more effective. It's a matter of efficacy at that point. Which, by the way, the situation when it comes to being efficient or not, whether it be for good or whether it be for bad, is, in my opinion, and I probably will make a video about this because I was seeing like this whole situation that is happening in the UK with and in America and some universities where they have to decolonize. I don't know if you heard this one, decolonize the curriculum because things are offensive and European bad and white people did this bad thing. Every human did bad things. All people did bad things. There is no reason to try and vilify a specific. In fact, this has been done by the naughty Germans and Austrian painter fan club people. That's what they were doing. They were vilifying a few groups of people, making them the root of all evil, Well, that's the same thing that is happening now in reverse to white people, and that's true. You can call me right-wing if you want, but that's one thing that I agree, I suppose. Plenty of things I don't, but this one I agree with. It is everywhere. And let me tell you why this is baseless. You should never, and it's dangerous and it's racist, you should never single out a group of people due to their immutable characteristics, try to connect in a fallacious way to their history, and then say, oh, look, white man bad because we did this, this, and that. Everyone did it. We were just more effective. Everyone did it. White people and Europeans, and then with it, America, we were just more effective. Yeah, of course, yeah, the numbers with slavery, great. Everyone had slaves. Everyone. Tribes in Africa had slaves. So this idea white man invented slavery is nonsense. It's nonsense. I'm not proud that we were effective with bad things, but let's stop this idea. Humans are good and humans are bad. Let's look at all as a single group and then try to make a distinction between, oh, this person is bad, regardless of their ethnicity. This person is good, regardless of what they look like. That is the only way forward, and it's in fact the only anti-racist position that makes logical sense from a moral perspective, and also from a matter of, yeah, it's just how it is. Ginger's gotta go. Yeah, that's another one. Goodness gracious. So, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Is this Iran peace thing real, or is it Trump trolling? I have no idea, to be fair. As I say, we're going to soon start watching J.D. Vance and see what he has to say and how he's going to resist. Hello, Joe. Good to have you here. How are things on Twitch? I understand revolution is not yet in large numbers. CIA needs more time. Art and history are lessons to the future population. Absolutely, vote shall. Absolutely. Absolutely. Which is why, yeah, we need to learn from the mistakes of the past. If we want to reach even state 1 civilization, we are still on state 0 civilization for the scale that I'm sure you're familiar with. 1 to 3, I think it is. We are still 0.8. So, yeah. Let me tell you one word. There are some words that in the last few years, and I'm sure you can relate to this, there are some words that have become not only red flags for me specifically, but also they make me cringe immediately. It's like automatic. I can't even control it. And one of these words is the term problematic. Your take is problematic. Your position is problematic. This book is problematic. What does that even mean? Problematic, why? Problematic because it doesn't allow you to push your message and propaganda and brainwash people. Problematic in what sense? So, yeah, problematic. Let's see what Lauren says about progressive Christians. Let's go. Progressive Christians are not Christians. Think lukewarm, right? They twist the word to suit their desires and undermine the truth worse than atheists. Well, I mean, okay. So let me talk about this. Let me give you a little bit of a moderate take. First of all, okay, then I'm not a progressive Christian. With that being said, when you say worse than atheists, I personally have nothing against atheists, and if anything, I understand what you're trying to say. I know what you're saying here. You're saying when a Christian is twisting the word, he's worse than an atheist because he has been given the word and now they're using it again. I get it 100%. I just try to always use welcoming phrases towards atheists out there because in my mind, it's the right thing to do because we're all children of God and I do believe in that. I know there are some Christians that don't believe that. Only Christians are children of God. They're out of their mind. It's not scripture on the other side. And then I guess I think I know what you're talking about when it comes to the progressive Christians. And yes, I'm not one of them either. But I will say I always try to be nice and leave a good impression, an impression of freedom and mutual respect when it comes to atheists, whether it be in my family or whether it be among you in the community. Because at the end of the day, if I act all aggressive, which would be so unnatural to me because of how my personality is. But even from a tactical standpoint, it's ridiculous. It's gonna, if anything, it's gonna push them away. So no, I mean, if I have heard people in the comments telling me, "Hey, Metatron, I really appreciate your approach. I was an atheist. I became a Christian because I didn't feel attacked by you or judged by you, and so I started watching your videos on the Bible, and you actually changed. Now I've been a Christian for that." That's wonderful. I'm not saying that that's what I know. If you're an atheist and that's your choice, respect it the rest of your life. It's between you and God, or between you and your position of the lack thereof. Fine. It will not change the way I think about you in any way, shape, or form. But I always think it's just, I always like to be careful in the way I express, even though I'm a fervent Christian. I always want to share my position of respectful and welcoming heart towards people that are not Christians. And that means also people of other religions, as long as they don't hate us. You know who I'm talking about. Not everyone, I'm not putting people into one group, but there are some fringes that hate us. Those, yeah, we might expand again later. Lord Syncross, thank you. The one thing I hate about this conflict is so often sounding anti-USA for recognizing the mistakes and nuances of it. And I love and truly believe in the country, me too. If I didn't, they wouldn't have so many of my investments. Absolutely, I appreciate that. Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah, exactly, Ruby. Problematic is just a cop-out for people who don't have an argument. Yeah, it's one of those techniques. Absolutely, it's one of those techniques. 100%. Yeah. Totally. Okay. Let's see. It's divide and conquer, not unite and prosper. I mean, sure. It'd be nice if we had a little bit of, yeah, usually I'd rather divide and conquer on the enemies, hopefully. But I understand what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, you were saying, Legato says apparently a ceasefire has been announced between Israel and Iran. Well, that's good news, I guess. Because I imagine that it extends also as a ceasefire towards us. So that's great. I'll be honest with you, I'm more interested in the ceasefire towards the USA, but still great. In any way, shape or form, a ceasefire is a good news because it means innocent civilians will not continue to pay the price of whatever the heck the governments are doing. So that's good. Maybe that's a problematic take, though, particularly. Oh, let me tell you this much about problematic, not problematic Metatron. You should have stayed out of blah, blah, blah. You know how I posted my video today, which is old school, vanilla, no politics, nothing, not a react. I gotta show you this because it's hilarious. It's just, I want to give you this perspective. We'll get back and we'll watch this. I need to give you this perspective, guys, because you don't have it. And it's not your fault. You're not a content creator. Maybe you are. Some of you are. So I think if you're a content creator, you'll know exactly where I'm going with this. But I mean, look at this. I just posted the most vanilla, in-depth, well-produced, budget, whatever you want, video, old school, everything that people that don't really like the React content, that's what they want. And I know that's not all of you, but I'm saying I want to take care of people as well, the core, right, of the audience. Great. I put the least clickbaity title that I could think. I made it look like a freaking lecture. The Origins of the Greeks, a deep dive into Hellenic ethnogenesis. There's people got offended. Guys, people in the comments, your vanilla is my watch. I appreciate that, Corey. People got offended. People told me, I don't like the fact that you said deep dive and it's 17 minutes. How is that a deep dive? Yeah, you're trying to be clickbait? Seriously, how is that? You know what clickbait looks like? Clickbait looks like, I can't believe the Greeks did that! Exclamation point. That's a clickbait, for crying out loud. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And there are people, once again, in the comments, most loved it, by the way. I'm just looking at the little instances just to show you how you can never please people. Yeah, there were some people that were saying like, why did you not, this video sucks because you didn't talk enough about this X subject that has to do with this, so it sucks. I'm like, seriously, it's, so what I do is that I post whatever the hell I want. whatever the heaven I want, since I'm an angel, right? I post whatever the heaven I want, guys. Because at the end of the day, I'll do these because I know that some of you love it, and I just do it for you. People get offended by it, they get offended. I will post the occasional reaction because the reactions, there are other people that like them, and also they're easy to create while I'm doing something else. I'll post this even though it upsets a certain type of viewer and comes and insults me. They can insult me, don't even read it. I'll post this is another vanilla. I'll post this. I'll post Asmongold even though people said you shouldn't talk about Asmongold. I'm offended. I'll do it again. I'll do whatever I'll do it. Okay, I'll still do it. I don't even, this is what it is. Because I swear to you, if I only made this for the next 50 uploads, people would get offended by it. So I might as well, at this point, just be like, you know what do I want to talk about today? And just make a video about it. So yeah, that's the situation. And that's where we are. Thank you so much, Ray, for, oh my gosh, man. Massive W for Ray Gonzalez. Another 10 Metatron memberships. Thank you so much. In fact, look at me. I'm wearing the Armin doublet today in honor of old school comeback, because I've got more videos like that coming back up soon. Thank you so much for your support. Chael says anti-racism is a Marxist academic position that teaches historic racism must be corrected by racism against the president. Yeah, really, sure. Today, the balanced ledger or William language to mean it's... Yeah, that's why I say I'm a real anti-racist. I hate all forms of racism against all people, and that includes white people. So if you're also an anti-racist, great. I'm glad. But if you're a fake anti-racist, someone who will use the technical excuse, I love it when they use them. By the way, I'm building a video about that because I got triggered. And someone said, well, technically it's not even if you hate white people, it's not racism because it's not systemic. And so it doesn't count because of the dictionary definition loop. First, the definition is wrong and I'll dismantle it. But even if I wanted to play by this person's rule, okay. Let's say that on a technicality you're right. You're not. But let's say that on a technicality you're right, and technically it's not racist against white people. Great. It's still despicable because it's derogatory in nature. So what did you win? It doesn't. It's a justification for hating. It doesn't work though, because I'm still going to attack the logical inconsistency, not to mention the morality of it. And if you look at the morality of it, if you think it doesn't, at that point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're targeting people. Oppressor. Okay, tell me about what kind of oppression my dad has ever done in his entire life when he's living in his little apartment making his pizza. What kind of oppressor is he? If your oppression is based on ethnic, immutable characteristics or phenotypic traits of a people, then you're wrong. Sorry, but that's how it is. In fact, I'm not sorry to say that. I hope that gets you over 700 members. Yeah, thank you, Ray. And I think you did. I can check that right now. And but thank you so much for your support. You're great. You're great, Ray. I really appreciate that. Oh, goodness gracious. Today's video is number 2. Number 2. Wait. I want to share the success. Well, seems like there's going to be a lot more vanilla content soon, guys, because this is great. This is very good news. This is very good news. So thank you very much for whoever watched this video. Really appreciate that. Because I do enjoy making those videos. Usually the system penalizes me for it. But I still make it at a loss, you know, because I make it for you. I make it for the core. I wouldn't even exist if it wasn't thanks to you. And so I will still make it even if I lose money. But if I can make a little money out of it, then that's obviously, that's nice with the mortgage and whatnot. So it really helps. So let me see. So the last count was 670, so we're at 690. I'm not trying to tell you to gift another 10. I'm just responding truthfully, but I do believe that organically it will hit 700 anyways. So you did really push me very close to 700 again, and I can only be grateful to you for that. So don't feel any pressure to have to do another 10. You don't need to. Thank you so much, though. It really helps, your support, Ray. Thank you. There we go. We got another 5 from Epirus and his own membership. So we are at 696 now. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Your generosity is very well appreciated. Daniel, so good to see you. Yes, someone got mad that I talked too much in a gaming video. I know. You know, even funnier, Daniel. People get mad at me. So you might not know this. As you probably know, I have a second channel, Metatron's Academy. 2 days ago, I posted a video and it blew up. It exploded. And I think that this means that the second channel, I mean, right now, my second channel is getting more views than the main. right now. I want to show you this. So it's a recent development, very recent development. But basically what happened is that I posted, the channel now has 92,000 subscribers. It had 80,000 when I posted this video 2 days ago. So it grew 12,000 subscribers in 2 days. And it was this video here. Recording of people from the 1800s are mind-blowing. It got 660, goodness gracious, 1,000 views in 1 day. So the video went viral, and it's continuing to gain views. And so, of course, I jumped into it, and I made a video 21 hours ago, recording some Queen Elizabeth accent in 1957, and it's going very well. And so today I've already filmed another one, which is me reacting to the very first ever recording from 1888, a date. Basically, it's still the Victorian period, because the Victorian period is from the 1830s all the way up to 1901. And so these are Victorian people who have been recorded. And so this is going to be turned, of course, into a whole series. The next 30 videos are going to be about this stuff. And it's going really well with the second. So it's literally exploding, which I'm very happy about. And what was I going to say? So, yeah, so and that's crazy that we have still the voices of people during the Victorian era, because 1888, just to give you perspective, Chopin, Frédéric Chopin, could have been alive, he would have been in his 80s, hadn't he died before 40. So this is how old of a recording that is, and that video will be posted tonight. So yeah, this is something that happened. I don't even remember why I told you this, but it happened. Second channel exploded, guys. Second channel exploded, and I'm very happy about it. So we'll see where that takes us, or Texas. We'll see where that takes us. Oh yeah, that's why I was telling you that, because basically on that video, the video that exploded got a lot of love, but there were also 600,000 views. There were also people that complained. And I'm like, what did they not like? And you know what they didn't like? They said, you interrupted her, stop interrupting her, you stop talking over her. And I'm like, guys, when I make reaction videos, and that's not even a reaction video, it's an analysis of pronunciation and language, whatever. But even if we want to see it, it's still a subcategory reaction. Okay, when I do reaction videos, if I don't speak, people will tell me, it's not transformative, what are you doing, you're a thief. Great. So I do interrupt the videos a lot and present my opinion in order to make it transformative. And people get mad anyways. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. Woohoo! Thank you for all these gifts. That's insane. My gosh, guys, you're amazing. Massive W again, Ray and Evil Black, Epirus, Decaf. Thank you so much, guys, for your generosity. I really appreciate that. Epirus even did it twice. Well, we are definitely past 700 now. We're at like 715, 16 probably. I'll have to do the maths. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And Jeffersonia, your dad oppressed the Hawaiians by not putting pineapple on pizza. You're correct. He's an oppressor. That must be paid for by every Italian dish you consume, including pineapple. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Dave, I hope you include the fact that Webster added the systemic version of the definition after a black woman called them to complain. I can send info. Do send info. That's ridiculous. Why does you see? That's one of those situations. Why does it matter? Why does it matter that it's it's a minority? So we need to. Well, I'm a minority in the U.S. and I disagree with that. How about that? I'm a minority as well. So, but anyways, yeah. Metatron, you muppet, subscribe to the Academy. Yeah, subscribe to the Academy. Oh, I can't subscribe. I can't do it. If I click it, it says it's your own channel. I don't think I can do it. Maybe you can. Shout out Epirus, Evil Black, and Decaf. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Greetings from a fellow YouTuber, Athens. Ooh, cool. Hand of Gods GR. Very nice. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me have a look. 29,000 subscribers. Cool. Is the content all in Greek? I could use it. Yeah, probably. Very nice. About football, I guess, and sports in general. I'll check it out to see how much I can understand. Probably not much when it comes to modern Greek, but all the best of luck to you, my friend. And cool. Basketball. Unscripted raw content. Sounds good. Some people told me that they prefer when my content is not scripted, and some people say that they prefer scripted. What do you guys think? Flet Victus Victor Interit. Thank you for a little bit of Latin right there. And speaking of copyright, did you watch A3 video? Oh, goodness gracious, Cozy. That's going to be tomorrow's live stream topic. So I'm just going to tell you this much. Yes, I did. It was absolutely hilarious. And I think they deserve the lawsuit. Those 3 YouTubers that are... I think they deserve it. And I'll expand tomorrow. I'll expand tomorrow, guys. But yeah, that was... man, I swear, like, the people that are malicious in their intent, when they do I'm going to do a React video, so that immediately when it goes out, and give you links so that you don't support the owner of the copyright, no nothing, and then the whole React thing, you say nothing and stay like this because of ideological differences. Yeah, they deserve to be sued into oblivion. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll make a dedicated, see what you guys think, and we'll watch the video. We'll do all of that. We'll absolutely do all of that, guys. Yeah, you're right, Neon Kitty. I appreciate that. You say you shouldn't trust mainstream news on this. No, I agree. I still want to listen to what he says, though. But I understand where you're coming from. And I am watching. I'm going to watch a lot of videos. There is the Preston Stewart that can give me some ideas on the technical aspects of it. And there is the other guy that I can never remember. But he's a former Marine Corps analyst that does a lot of very good content. I can never remember his name, unfortunately. But yeah, commentary cannot be scripted. Commentary, yeah, sure. But like, you know, I also make videos that are scripted. So I kind of, yeah, both fine. Yeah, I think it depends on the topic as well, the type of content, I would say. Yeah. They ate the bait. That very thing was glorious. I'll tell you this much. If you become a US citizen, all of that takes years, man. But the American government did send me a letter which gave my wife a heart attack almost when she saw a letter from the immigration department. She was like, what's going on? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. I am a fully legal and taxpayer. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I own land in the US. It's fine. So anyways, we opened it. And yeah, they said, your visa has been extended. Your green card has been extended. And they also told me I now can apply within 6 months. Now 4 now. Within the next 4 months, you can apply for citizenship, and which I will. But I can understand she got a little scared. Poor thing. Yeah. She's adorable. So yeah. You've done yours last year? That's fantastic. You're right, Lord Sin. You say Sin Cross. You say script or not depends on subject matter. I found your channel through the series you did on the angels on the Bible. Yeah, that one is fully scripted. In fact, every time you see in the Bible videos, and also videos like the one I just published, the super in-depth ones, I write the entire script myself. I use either my own research or a mixture of my research and research from my team to write the script myself. Then I correct it. And then what I do is that for some words, sometimes there will be a passage and I'm repeating the same word 3 times. And so I do a polishing with the AI, meaning that the only way I use the language models is as thesaurus. Because I used to do it with a thesaurus, but now I use a language model. But before these were this advanced, that's what I used to do. I would spend time with a thesaurus and find the right words, because I like it's a craftsmanship, if you will, to find the right word in the right spot, to not repeat the same thing over and over again, to have a nice wide range of terminology. I love doing that when I do scripted content, regardless. After all the polishing is done, which is why it takes a while, and then I double check the information. Then whenever you see me on camera, it's all memorized. I memorized the whole thing. So depending on the videos that I spend more time as a talking head, it means that I had to spend more time actually memorizing the script. And videos where I appear sometimes, but oftentimes it's B-rolls or images, then of course those sections I can read, so I don't need to memorize them. But that's how I work with scripted content. Yeah, not everything is scripted though, of course. A lot of videos are not scripted, and my reactions are completely unscripted. What I do sometimes is that if I see, I'm going to react on the topic of the Second Punic War, then I'll review a few data points that I think could come up, and then I react, but I already have the passages or the verses or the classics in mind, and then I can say, oh yeah, Marshall speaks about this because I've just reviewed it, of course. So that's the only type of preparation I do for the React content. Thank you, Camping Master, for gifting a subscription on Twitch. 1 out of 10. Hey, let's see if we can hit that target. That would be really nice. Hey, Krakenford, so good to have you here, man. Will an American Metatron have to like pineapple on his pizza? That's the one thing I'm not willing to do. That's the only thing I'm not willing to do. Yes, I hope it's not been added to the requirements in order to become an American citizen. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Although I'll tell you this much, to be with my wife, I'd be willing to eat pineapple on pizza if that was necessary. I mean, just to say this, but we were talking about this with the neighbors today because they were asking, so how did you guys meet? Because we visited the neighbors, and we were also looking at a few houses in the neighborhood in case for possible investments in the future. We'll see. But anyways, we were talking, and then we were saying that, yeah, we were together and everything, but then we were separated for 1.5 years due to COVID. And yeah, I mean, if that's a story we can tell the grandkids, but really, it really was a test for our feelings towards each other. Because I mean, 1.5 years is a long time, being separated by, within a long distance relationship. And yeah, I'm proud of what we did. I'm proud that we stayed faithful. I'm proud that we meant it, that we wanted to create a family together, that we took it seriously. Then I came here, and I think that our wedding was very nice. It was small. Also, and let me tell you why, because on a Monday, we were told you got to be married by Saturday because of adjustment of status with a lawyer. And so we're like, okay, so we planned a marriage in a few days. I had already proposed because, I'm classy. I proposed to my wife in Venice over the bridge of the lovers. So there's that. But anyways, so yeah, we were already engaged, obviously, but then we put together, and we didn't mind because we're not people that needed a fancy marriage. And I've always been against the idea of spending like tens of thousands of dollars for one day. I mean, feels like a waste. Instead, we went to this very little rural church, and we got married with this pastor, I think he is. Yeah, it was a lovely marriage, just with immediate friends and immediate family. My family watched it online, and yeah, and that was that. Because at the end of the day, who cares about like the big thing? It's not, to me, at least to me, there is the whole religious aspect to it. To me, it's a promise that I do, that I will take care of my wife for the rest of my life, and it's a promise that I make in front of my God. So at that point, I don't care about the fancy. I mean, he sent his son, and he was, in my perspective, not preaching to you, but just let me say this one. But if being the son of a woodworker in a manger is enough for his son, that I'm good with a little church, nothing fancy, no money spent. We literally cost us nothing. It cost us nothing. We spent nothing in our marriage. Yeah, I did stream the wedding. Yeah, I did stream it. I did stream the wedding. We had like 2,000 people watching. So I guess we did have a lot of people in the marriage, now that I think the wedding ceremony. Pineapple pizza is great with ham and bacon. I'm fine with this as long as it's ham, bacon, and pizza, and just remove the pineapple, and then I'm good. Yeah, I'll eat pineapple on pizza for my girl. That's the only situation. Oh, for a child. It's something I would do for a child. Yeah, but it's one of those things. Thank you, Cozy. I would be very interested in a coupleless story video. You guys are so cute, done together, of course. Yeah, maybe we could do that at one point on a secondary channel, or maybe on my wife's channel or something like that. So that could be nice. Hello, the Scoundrels Cantina, who is a content creator. Every time I see a content creator who's being friendly, I always like to check out their channels. Am I pronouncing it right? The Scoundrels Cantina. Oh, I think I know you. Sorry, sometimes it takes me. I think I know you. Do I? Maybe not, but I'll check out your channel. Thank you for being here. So good to have you here. 322,000 subscribers. Holy moly. Hello. Well, guys, if you're into Star Wars, among other things, you should check him out. Lovely thumbnail, by the way. Cool stuff. I love your symbol. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. Wow, Camping Master. Well, you definitely made it happen. Thank you so much for making the goal happen today for the subscribers on Mission Complete. GG, well played. That was great, man. I really appreciate that. W in chat for Camping Master on Twitch. Very much appreciated. Yeah, seriously, if you are, by the way, if you are a streamer, I do believe the multi-streaming is the future because, as you could see, I can be live and make progress on both. And in fact, I have opened a Kick account and I will try a multi-streaming one of these nights on all three. Twitch, Kick, and YouTube simultaneously. I've been doing some testing, but I still have to test it with you guys. So we'll test it one of these nights, see what happens. What's the Kick account name? I'll tell you. You're gonna laugh your head off. But here it is. My Kick account, I'm literally everywhere, is Metatron Imperium. Glory to Rome. I'll give you the link, guys, but like there is still no content at the moment. But I will be streaming there together with Twitch also when I do the gaming stuff, and so yeah. Metatron Imperium. Glory to Rome. I will always say, unapologetically so. Thank you for the follow, man. I really appreciate that, Legetu. Man, Legetu is everywhere. Legetu is literally omnipresent. Legetu will be, yeah, everywhere. Like Nicholas as well. Nicholas is another one that is like on both YouTube. He's on Twitch. He's gonna be on Kick. It's like you are the what's the name of the Catholic saint that Catholics usually believe to be everywhere? I don't believe in that, by the way, but that's fine. I'm not into the. I know I was brought up Roman Catholic, but I've never was into the whole thing with the saints. I'll be honest with you. I just pray to God through Jesus, and that's it. But my mom was. Ooh, my mom was really Catholic, so she had all of the saints in her house and the candles. She loves that stuff, the red candles. I loved it about her. She was always telling me like, "Oh, did you produce the video?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll turn on a candle for you." It was always about the candles with my mom. Yeah, I don't even know where the heck she got them. She had she had the supply of a freaking parish of candles, but she did, bless her heart. So yeah. Pineapple is just not a tasty fruit. No, you know, Kay, I don't hate pineapple. I just hate it when it goes on pizza. I agree, Scondrels Cantina. Appreciate that we agree with that. Twitch, Total Rome, let's go. Total Rome 2. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some Total Wars, but I might start with Warhammer. Been watching you for years, mate. Fellow Christian, by the way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So good to have you here, Scoundrels. Thank you. And congratulations on your success, by the way, for your channel. Definitely check you out later. Let me double check that, making sure that I'm not being disrespectful to people making donations, making sure that I read everything. No, I didn't. So there we go. I'm glad I do this. If there is one thing I learned to do. Thank you, Light7foot7. I do remember you from other streams donating. I just discovered most people don't understand the difference between grifting and subsidizing. Sorry. Don't follow the government example. Give responsibility. Yeah, no, sure, absolutely. I mean, oh, gifting. Sorry, not grifting. Gifting. I can't even read. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Give responsibly. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I agree with that. I want scripted political content like in the... Oh, no. Speaking of copyright, yeah, that's... I just reacted to that. I read that. Hello from Greece, hello. And, well, I learned that that makes the thing pop up. Metro, your map is right to the academy, yeah. Exactly. This one really killed me. My dad oppressing Hawaiians. Yeah, I don't even think my dad knows that pineapple on pizza is a thing. Because, you see, my dad... is so old school and like anti-technology that he doesn't know how to answer a phone call. Like I need to, because now you need to do this. He can't do it. So it's always him calling me because it's pointless for me to call him because he will never learn how to answer the phone. Because to him, the phone is pick something up. In fact, luckily for him, his son has got all the retro tech in the world. This is my dad's idea of a telephone. There you go. Hello? Yeah, I didn't know you were listening. You're always listening. Okay, bye, bye. My noble ones say hi. Yeah. No, I didn't call them Muppets. You're Muppets. Done. All right, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you. Bye, 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 bye. So, that's my dad. Even the sound. Goodness gracious, I swear, old school stuff was built to last. This is the one, you know, I always say it's fine to disbelieve or be extremely skeptical towards conspiracy theories, but do always make sure that you don't become too skeptical, because there is the occasional conspiracy theory that ends up being true. And one of these, for me, it's planned obsolescence. I don't know what to tell you. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. It's just that I own so much tech from the 70s and the 80s that works just like a charm. All you needed to do is take care of it, and things were built to last. Today, it's all built for like this consumistic idea of, oh yeah, something is a little, buy a new one. Why do I need a new one? This is perfect for the next 10 years. Why do I need a new one? It's just one of those things. I don't know. It's also something that you see. Medieval people had this in common with our grandparents. So this is really something that changed only in recent years. But medieval people didn't throw away stuff. And we see this in the sources, like, oh, this got ripped a bit. You don't buy a new one, you repair it. You sew it. They had skills, right? And it's the same with our grandmas. Our grandmas, grandparents, they knew how to repair stuff. You don't throw away and buy and throw away and buy and throw away and buy perfectly. Oh, it's a problem, I think, that happened. I guess it was ignited by mass production, but even it just ignited. I think now we are in a situation where everything is like throw away, but the slight inconvenience, throw away and replace. Not a good way, for me at least. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's true. That's what I think, Ray. I honestly think things are planned not to, so we can continuously, because otherwise it's that plus the PR and psychological marketing that convinces you that your perfectly viable television needs to be replaced. It's perfect. It works, but you need to replace it. Okay, and here we are buying things, so it's fine. $50 a month is not that much. Well, yeah, but how many months? No. But anyways, it's one of those things. And you do a react of the Latin and Japanese in For Honor. Oh, I've already done it. I think I've already done it, but I could go into the details of it for the second channel. Love it. Excellent idea, actually. Check it out. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the donation and support, guys, by the way. You've been phenomenal, as usual. Consumerism, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking of consumismo in Italian, and I got confused. Appreciate that, Daniele. Always on point. Love that about you. Can you even say consumism? I don't know. Oh, that's funny. You know, it is true often, not always. There are some conspiracy theories that are nonsense. But the difference between conspiracy theories and reality these days is like 3 to 6 months anyway. Yeah, I mean, it has happened. That's why I always say, like, I'm always skeptical with these, with statements. But then again, so yeah. The worst example of this is cars. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Are we cooked, chat? I hope not. Seems like there was a ceasefire if you were talking about the war, which we'll continue to talk about, of course. Since I've been learning a lot from you guys tonight. It's been great. Consumismo will be Portuguese, so the same as Italian. The media's controlled by Muppets. You know, I think we would be better off if it was actually controlled by actual Muppets. I heard about that, and who knows? No, maybe it's real. Iran and Israel agreeing to a ceasefire. I mean, I don't think Iran has the power, the ability to do anything about it now. I know they can activate the cells. That's the only thing that worries me a little bit. But when it comes to raw military power, it's not like it can do anything against the US. And even Israel at this point, they've been surgical with their attacks. The precision was crazy. So yeah, Kermit for president, I agree. I would vote for Kermit. Does that count as green? A green vote? Maybe the only one time the green votes actually matter. I will be very surprised if the ceasefire stays. Hey, I hope we can be positively surprised about this. The Iron Dome saved a lot of lives. True, Gabriel. What do you guys think of this Golden Dome project that I just heard about? I mean, anything that has to do with defense, I usually like. But I have no idea about the technical aspects of it. Yeah. You say probably largely unnecessary, but why not? Yeah, I think the part that doesn't include the largely is the part that might make it necessary, if you know what I mean. Better to have it and not need it, for sure. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's what they called it, Golden Dome. Because the Iron Dome is the one that we built, I guess together. Did Europe help with that? I don't even know. But the one we built in Israel is the Iron Dome. This has been called the Golden Dome. It's just the Iron Dome with better PR. Probably a lot more extensive and more high-tech, I have to imagine. Italy needs the Studo Dome. Yeah, I mean, sure. Italy could do a pizza dome. Trump just labels everything gold because it means Trump. What's the connection between gold and Trump? I don't know. But then again, it's probably not him. I don't think he came up with the idea. It's probably the PR department. Yeah, Iron Dome is more of a short-range ballistic missile focus. I see. So the Golden Dome can protect against ICBMs, I imagine. Yeah, there we go. I think, yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. Interesting. You could probably, yeah, but of course, you've got an ocean. I mean, America has got an ocean. Yeah, it's not like we're expecting Mexico to do anything. So in that case, we'll be close, yeah. You say it was 100% him, but maybe you're right, Matthew. I don't know. Maybe it was Trump's idea then, the name. The Ravioli Dome. Hey, we need to, come on, guys. We got Pizza Dome, we got Testudo Dome, and we got Ravioli Dome. Anyone else has ideas for the dome that they should build in Italy? Focaccia Bread Dome. That's not bad. Not bad. Spaghetti Dome. It's an option too. Lasagna Dome. Hey. Pineapple Dome. Don't you dare. HS. Don't you dare. Come on, guys. Come on. Apparently, Metatron has never seen Donald Trump's penthouse in Trump's tower. No, I haven't. But I imagine everything is gold. Since you're saying that, no, never saw it. I'm not that interested in general, not even just politicians, but famous people and VIPs and what they do and how they live and where they live. I'm never particularly interested, I'll be honest with you. Be like, oh, look at this incredible match. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're rich as F. So, yeah, I don't... Usually there are other things that interest me most, to be fair. New York pizza clears any pizza in Italy. Says the guy who's never been to Naples and have a pizza there. While I've been to New York. It's good. I'll give you that much. New York pizza is good when you know where you're going. But Naples wins. Calzone Dome. Colosseum Dome. Hey. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, it's saying, so Trump tends to treat gold as trademark. I mean, it makes sense. People do connect gold with... I mean, I'm sure there is some psychological aspects of it. 100% in marketing. Metadome, eh? Rome Dome. I don't know. That one sounds a little Rome Dome. The other way, by the way, the other night I saw someone getting offended because in the comments... I need to do a compilation, by the way. But I saw someone getting offended because they were like... I think I used the term... Yeah, I read the name of their city... What was it? Goodness gracious. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was one city, and I read the name, and they got offended because they're like, oh, that's nonsense. You shouldn't, this is how it's pronounced. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not saying it in your language. I'm saying it in English. I mean, It would be like me getting offended that you guys don't say Roma for Rome. I mean, I'm speaking English, so of course I'm going to say Rome. I enjoy saying it at least once in the original language. I'll give him that. But the idea that they say it doesn't exist, yes, it does in English, it's fine. If you're using English as a medium of communication, it's okay to readapt the pronunciation of... Because could you imagine, how am I going to... I'm going to have to learn Bulgarian, I'm going to have to learn Polish and whatever the heck, Mandarin, I already know Mandarin. But I mean, I need to learn like Filipino, how the heck do they pronounce that? I don't know. Goodness gracious. Bolognese Dome, it's not bad. Who doesn't like gold? Well, sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Any defensive technologies are force for good, sure. When applied for defense, absolutely. Thank you, Jake, for the support. What worries me is not necessarily war with Iran, but the US allocating our military resources to two separate wars, opening the door for China. I do understand that point of view, but what is China going to do? They can't do boots on the ground in the US. That would be self-annihilating. I can't use the word of this. Oh, well, this stream is already going to get demonetized. I know that because my other streams, they all go. I couldn't even talk about the freaking riots or talk about the situations in Paris. They all get the yellow dollar sign treatment, and there is nothing I can do about it. So will this one, because apparently a concerned citizen who lives in the United States and wish to talk to his audience, discussing in a normal manner, no one is hating anyone, being like, in fact, even being nice. But I started the stream by saying I hope these innocent people are okay. Yellow dollar sign. All right, then, Cappuccino Dome. I like... Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, John Bauer wins at this moment, unless you guys can come up with something else, because Cappuccino Dome is hilarious, and you know why? Because Cappuccino... I don't even know if you knew this, John Bauer, but Cappuccino literally means little hood, and it's the name of a specific type of monks. In fact, the Franciscan monks, I think, are called Cappuccini, I monaci Cappuccini, because they were wearing the little hood, and that's perfect for the dome. It's a hood. Ooh, guys, apart from the drink. Cappuccino, guys. Cappuccino. Anti-pineapple dome is a good one, Melanie. Man, you win with that one. Okay, so it's number 2 for cappuccino, but Melanie wins because anti-pineapple dome. APD. We can even give it a... Oh, this is good. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's insane. Jake, thank you. Taiwan is what China is threatening. True, yeah. I think that's what they're more interested in, but I don't know if they will act, to be honest. Also, because do remember that the US did do a show of force, and I mean, we'll have to see. I was at a military college in the UK a few weeks ago. They were of the view that the next set of trainees will end up on the front line. That is how close war probably is. From England? Like UK troops, you mean deployed in the Middle East? Wow, that would be crazy if it happens. I don't think the Americans have been saying that they want to put boots on the ground. I can't really see that happening. The bombing, I'll be honest with you, I'll read the super chat in a second, Veronica. The bombings, I'll be honest with you, when they were talking about it, I already knew that they were going to do it. I even told my wife and my dad, they were like, but I don't think they're actually going to do it, like they're bombing. 100% they're bombing. And as I was telling you, we will watch this now, but as I was telling you, this has been in preparation, this has been in the making. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter who is what administration it is, this would have happened. That's my belief. 100%. Hey, Sega Channel, good to have you here. I wanted to say thank you to Veronica Tash for supporting the stream. The threat with SDI Star Wars Golden Dome is that if there is fear, you will be immune and can nuke others without fear. You get Roman preemptive nukes. Well, yeah, but I don't think anyone is using nukes. I mean, at the end of the day, nukes now and nukes in the Second World War are completely, I know we use the same term, but they, in theory, or thermonuclear, I guess, but whatever, but it's still the same term, but they are worlds apart. The early nukes were actual weapons. Current nukes are more diplomatic tokens because they are so powerful now, so powerful, that it would be mutually ensured destruction. So unless it's some kind of complete maniac, or maybe some tactical nukes could be used locally, but still, the actual nukes in those numbers, even if 10% of the nukes that we have are launched, it would be no one rules. There is no country to rule. There is no spoils of war. There is no booty. There is nothing left. So the reality is that nukes are just diplomatic tokens. That's how it is. They're too powerful. It's either that, or we have to pray that one of these leaders doesn't go completely nuts and says like, no, I'm fine with the rubble. But that's what I think. Like, I don't think that the nukes now can be used, unless again it's a tactical. But even then, that's why again, even when Iran retaliated against Israel, they used the hypersonic missiles. Which, by the way, I kept watching these news, and this was military personnel, and they were explaining, well, yeah, this is a ballistic missile, this is a supersonic missile, this is a hypersonic missile. I'm like, what the heck is the difference? So I actually went into a rabbit hole, understanding, okay, so if they are above Mach 5, then it means that they are supersonic, because has to be at least above 3,000, and I think it was 600 miles per hour. There is a whole thing, and I went into this rabbit hole, and then I stopped, and I'm like, you know what, let me go play some Diablo 2, which I've just installed on my new computer over there, and I'll do a review very soon. When I say new, it's a computer from 1999, just so you know. So I was like, I'm getting too deep into this, because you know me, when it comes to weapon and depth of, but at least I wanted to understand the terminology. Philip says, honest question, how aware are you of the history of Iran and the USA? You mean the history of their interactions, or are you talking separately the history of Iran and the history of the USA? Because when it comes to the history of Iran, only ancient stuff is what I've studied. So yeah, the ancient stuff, sure, Bronze Age and all that stuff, and even the situation with the Greeks and all that, yeah, I did study that one, and that's it. I don't know anything about modern Iranian history, apart from the very generalized and generic things that you study at school. And when it comes to the history of the USA itself, I'm picking it up. I mean, first of all, I'm also trying to learn the geography. One of these days I'll do live stream. Oh, that's a good idea. We could do that maybe this week. I'm going to live stream one of those tests where you have to guess the name of the states, so I can practice the geography of the USA. I think that's a good thing. It could be fun. We'll do that one. You know, another thing I should do, I could do that next week. I should take the political test and see where the heck it puts me. I would imagine it would put me very centrist, or it would put me very like moderately leaning maybe on some issues. But I can't expect. Could you imagine it? Can you imagine I take the political test and I get massive in red, grifter! Exclamation point. Oh man, that would be so funny. Tiramisu Dome. Well, considering that's not how we spell it, but that's fine. I mean, I appreciate. It's funny though, because tiramisu, the sweet, actually means, the dessert, literally means lift me up or pull me up. Because tirare, it can mean to throw, but in this context, it's more like this. And so being pulled. And su means up in Italian. And I think Daniele Fabbro will tell me if I'm guessing right, but I would imagine, do you think it's because of the coffee component? Kind of wakes you up a little bit? Milk toast grifter. Like, how can you even be a milk toast? Ooh, that's a funny one. Yeah, so that would be really funny. Take the US citizenship test. I'll practice for that one, since I'll have to do the real one. Yeah. You say, of course. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's tiramisu, cafe. Coffee have an exciting effect on our body. Exactly. So that's why we call it like that. Tiramisu. But I think for us, it's obvious, Daniele. Tiramisu, yeah, lift me up. Like, but I think for foreigners, they just, for non-Italians, they just hear the sound. But yeah, tiramisu, metagrifter. keep an eye out for ICE. I don't think they're coming with me, Daniel. I've been paying some tens of thousands in taxes. I think they love me. But yeah. What is your view? I know you're joking, by the way. But yeah, what is your view on Russia and Ukraine? Well, I wish Russia never attacked the Ukraine. That's my view. I helped the frogmouth helmet that you always see in the back. That was made in Ukraine by a Ukrainian armorer that was trying to get money to relocate his family to safety in Poland. And I'm very proud to be able to say that I bought that helmet and I sent him, what was it, 1,500 euros, which was pretty good, by the way, for a helmet like that. And he used some of that money to move his family. So I was happy to be able to help when it comes to that. Coffee can be called a pick-me-up, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Helio. Yeah, that's the idea. Diablo 1 was the first PC game I played as a youngling. I just received a copy. I installed it. Love the music, the guitar music. Ooh, I just turn it on with the little speakers. You know what? I'm going to show you. I'm making a full video review on my gaming channel, including the unboxing. But just to show you what I got. And by the way, I didn't buy it. It was a gift from my wife. That's why I'm saying, guys, marry correctly. Marry correctly, guys. But this was a gift from my wife for my birthday. And yeah, it's a 1999 Pentium machine. It's a Pentium 3. And it's a gorgeous specimen. And as you can see, well, you can't really see it, but sorry about that. I was installing Heroes of Might and Magic. And it's gorgeous. So I'm going to do a whole review. I've been playing like a maniac on it because it's really nostalgic for me. Very nostalgic. So that happened. And it's great. It's great. Thank you, Philip, for the super chat. Did already a super chat about it, but there is a real life lore video about it. But someone already mentioned the 1953 CIA coup. Coup is a car. Coup, which by the way, I would normally read coupe. That led to the Islamic Revolution and today Iran regime. I'll check it out. Thank you for that. Absolutely appreciate that. I'll try to learn as much as possible. Wouldn't surprise me, by the way, sure. Metagrift. Yeah. Since when did nations that were not allies give a heads up about launching missiles and the exact numbers? I know, feels theatrical. Then moments after go and sign some contract. Sounds like, yeah, conspiracy. No, I understand. I'm sure there is a lot that we don't know. I mean, I know for a fact that there is a lot that we don't know. Mussolini Dome, oh please not. Absolutely not. Mussolini Dome, oh my gosh. Yeah, my God, you guys have got golden humor. China was considered the biggest threat, bigger than Russia, Iran, etc. I can see that. But we'll see. Man, the Mussolini Dome is so funny. I do have a question. Okay, so let's see what he says. And then we can continue commentary. Maybe you can explain to me. Let's see if I misunderstand something from the vice president. Can't even pronounce it. Let's see what he says. Let's have a look. I hope it doesn't get... So, if NBC New copy claims the video, by the way, and you see that the video gets a copy claim, don't worry, I'll be back in 40 seconds. That's usually how long it takes. 40 to 60 seconds and I'm back. Because all I need to do is this. And then the copy claim is dropped, okay? But let me see if I can check it out a little bit. The Vice King, says Daniel. Let's see. Let's have a look. Maybe it's disrespect. I don't know. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna put myself. I'm gonna put myself in the middle. Now watch them zoom, and I'm literally on his forehead. Anyways, let's have a look. Let's talk about it.
Thank you, Kristen. Great to be with you.
Thank you for being here on a monumental Sunday. My first question, Mr. Vice President, is the United States now at war with Iran?
Yes. I mean, maybe not now that they said that there is a ceasefire, but I suppose. Let's see.
No, Kristen, we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program. And let me just say, Kristen, that we're incredibly grateful and proud of the American Air Force pilots who did an incredible job last night. The operation was really extraordinary.
Yeah.
These guys flew from Missouri. They didn't land a single time. They dropped 30,000-pound bombs on a target the size of a washing machine, and then got back home safely without ever landing in the Middle East or ever stopping other than to briefly refuel. And of course, they did that in the air. So it's
tactically, the operation was impressive. I'll give him that.
Really an incredible operation, a testament to the power of American military.
Right.
And I think what shows what can happen when you have that great American military in the hands of capable presidential leadership. Mm-hmm. What we did is we destroyed the Iranian nuclear program. I think we set that program back substantially, and we did it with...
Is it actually fully destroyed? Did you read about this? Did they fully destroy it, or did they actually manage to still save some of the material involved? Let me know if you read anything about that.
Without endangering the lives of the American pilots. That's an incredible thing, and I think we
Right.
all should be proud. Whatever our politics, we should be proud of what these guys accomplished. A very, very high impact mission under a lot of pressure.
Mr.
Right.
Vice President, let's talk about what happens next. President Trump posted on social media, quote, any retaliation by Iran will be met with force greater than what was witnessed tonight. If Iran retaliates against the U.S., as it is threatening, what will the United States response be?
That's actually a good question. So they did, I heard, but as you were saying, it felt fake. That when they and again, of course, we're talking about retaliation against American assets in the Middle East. There's no way Iran is going to try and do anything against American soil. At least I don't think so. That'd be nuts. There is a lot of eyeliner. Who has the eyeliner? Oh, she has an eyeliner. For a moment, I thought he had eyeliner. No, I mean, it's fine, I guess. Doesn't look like too much to me. Metatron, they have 400 pounds of 60% enriched uranium. You need 90% uranium to be weaponized. I understand. That makes sense. Thank you for that. So I guess the capability has been stopped. Well, that's a good news. Why is everyone talking about her eyeliner? I don't know why. What the heck does that have anything to do? Oh, goodness gracious. Anyways, yeah, let's see. Let's see the answer.
Well, Chris, so that's ultimately going to be the president's decision. But what we've said to the Iranians is we do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace. But we want peace in the context of them not having a nuclear weapons program. And that's exactly what the president accomplished last night. I really think there are two big questions for the Iranians here. Are they going to attack American troops, or are they going to continue with their nuclear weapons program? And if they leave American troops out of it and they decide to give up their nuclear weapons program once and
Right.
for all, then I think the president has been very clear. We can have a good relationship with the Iranians. We can have a peaceful situation in that region of the world. We have to step back a little bit, Kristen, and remind ourselves that we negotiated aggressively with the Iranians to try to find a peaceful settlement to this conflict. It was only when the president decided that the Iranians were not negotiating in good faith that he took this action. Yeah. He didn't take it lightly, but I actually think it provides an opportunity to...
Okay, so what he's saying now, so I did agree with the part when he talked about, of course, removing the nuclear capability of a regime like Iran. I agree with that. Whether or not that means that this was the best or only way to do it, I have no idea. I don't like the idea of the intervention, I'll be honest with you, because I live in America, so this could affect us, so I don't like that. But I do have to say, I do have to give it, at least to the military personnel, it was impressive. What American military force demonstrated, it's also a show of force to Russia and China. No questions. What he just said now, though, so let me see.
World. We have to step back a little bit, Kristen, and remind ourselves that we...
Yeah, so what he said now, I don't believe. So what? Totally, yeah, no, exactly. That was a show of force. And sometimes a show of force, I guess, is necessary as a diplomatic move as well. I know it's not, it sucks, but I'm glad that it wasn't against civilian, because if it was, I would have been against it no matter what, don't care about the flag. But when it comes to this, you take out the nuclear capability, that's... Yeah, because they do not have, as I was saying earlier, they do not have a distinction between church and state, and that makes them, as an Islamic government, extremely dangerous, and it is what it is. With that being said, what he says now, so Trump decided to give the order to bomb due to the way the negotiation and the diplomacy was going? No, I don't think that. I think that this was already planned, because they did say this has been planned for years. That's what I think. Because they did say that the bombs were, not him, but they did say that the bombs were designed specifically for that target. And it's a target that we the public, know of since 2009, which means American intelligence, and at this point I'm going to say Israeli intelligence knew about since the split second that they even decided to start digging in that area. So no, I don't think that this was, maybe that was the, what do you call it, the last drop, the last straw that broke the camel's back. But yeah. You say that there is no evidence that Iran nuclear program is for a weapon. I think the evidence is the amount of enriched uranium, because there is a certain percentage that can be used for civilian usages, like to build a power plant. But I think that they were going above the line. And if they do that, then yeah, why are you doing it? Not to mention, do remember that with evidence or not, enriched uraniums in the hands of a Islamic extremist government that says death to America, yeah, is a problem. It's not like they didn't say it. If they didn't say death to America publicly, then I would be like, I don't know, is this like an excuse just to go and spread democracy? Then I would agree with that, but they did say it. So no, they shouldn't have that. Yeah. No, I understand, Daniel, but they did say death to America. So that's where I have, that's when I say, yeah, I'm not comfortable with that, and that's that. Peace through strength, says Juan, and I can understand that position, yeah. Thank you, Baron, for the support. Honestly, other striking strategically important targets, not a declaration of war. It is a declaration of war. It pretty much is, but at the same time, I don't think they are in the position to retaliate, and so they will have to capitulate because of what has happened already. So yeah, no, of course, it's if you bomb a territory, obviously you're at war with that country. Yeah, totally. You shouldn't escalate words with bombs. I understand your sentiment, Francisco, which is why I say I'm not necessarily saying that I support the intervention idea of this. Also because it doesn't really, I don't see it as a benefit for the American people, and I live in America. So I wish we could stay out of this, I'll be honest with you. And definitely if they start talking about boots on the ground, which I don't think they are, but if they did, I would oppose that. With that being said, though, maybe imagine for a second, putting politics aside, that it's true. And they did try to build a nuke, and they were going to nuke both us and Israel. Maybe at that point it's better this way than having a nuke being sent to us, hoping that the ICBM gets intercepted, and then we can start talking about it. Because again, they say death to America. To me, that's going to continue to be the pivotal role of this discussion. Yeah, I agree, Kay Alifi. You say Israel planned it for years. I think Israel and the US planned it for years. I mean, do remember, the left or right, you can have whatever you want, but at the end of the day, there is one thing that they all have in common, whether it be Trump, whether it be Biden, whether it be Starmer in the UK, Labour, super left wing. In theory, you're expecting to say things opposite to the right wing in America. They all say support for Israel. They all say that. They all say it. So to me, this is an illusion of choice. You have no choice. There is no, in my opinion, whatever, your vote matters, but not in this context. Thank you for saying this, absolutely. Not in this context. They were going to do it regardless, whether it be Biden in power, Harris in power. They were just going to spin the narrative differently. They would have still done it.
Negotiated aggressively with the Iranians to try to find a peaceful settlement to this conflict.
Iran doesn't have rockets. They just shot hundreds of rockets, Daniele, to Israel a few days ago. Not to mention the 16 that they shot, so they do. Unless you mean, what kind of rockets are you talking about?
It was only when the president decided that the Iranians were not negotiating in good faith that he took this action. Yeah. He didn't take it lightly, but I actually think it provides an opportunity to reset this relationship, reset these negotiations, and get us in a place where Iran can decide not to be a threat to its neighbors, not to be a threat to the United States. And if they're willing to do that, the United States is all ears.
Well, let's talk.
Okay, well, that's a good... He does give very good, concise responses. I'll give him that. So, yeah, you would say, okay, so why should the U.S. have nukes to keep us safe? Same for any nation. Yes, except for those that do not have a distinction between church and state. Because when there is no split between church and state, like in an Islamic regime that keeps saying death to the infidels, then no, they shouldn't have nukes, and we should. It's as simple as that at that point. If you are a sovereign nation that doesn't have a regime like that, then yeah, okay, sure, I can see that. But let's not pretend for a second that the US having nukes or France having nukes is the same as an Islamic totalitarian, not totalitarian, but an Islamic extremist regime as having nukes. It's not the same. Absolutely not. Look at the disproportion between Islamic violence and Christian or secular violence. It's ridiculous. And as I said at the beginning of the stream, I do not have anything against the little family. They are Muslim, mom, dad, and 2 kids. They don't hate Christians. They're not. I have nothing against them. Nothing. Nothing at all. You're still children of God as far as I'm concerned. But the extremists that hate Christians, that hate the West, and all that, and they call us infidels, yeah, I have a problem with those. And they should not have access to nukes. I agree with that. And I would have agreed regardless of who is in power at that point. It's not all the same. Not all religions are created equal. No, Muslims cannot have the same weapons when they chant death to the West. If you don't like that, unsubscribe. I will not apologize for that, ever. Only sovereign nations that do create a separation. Only sovereign nations do create a separation between state. You know why? Because a state-based Metatron. Thank you, Nicholas. And I'll tell you why. Because it's the same reason as to why in the United States of America, you have the freedom to say that you disagree with the Christian religion. And as a Christian, I say, yes, good, great. And in America, you have the ability to not have to live according to what I believe as a Christian. And you shouldn't. But in an Islamic regime country, they have laws. If you don't put on the veil, it's not a matter of this individual single woman, whether she believes it or not. Now there are laws. If she doesn't do it, she will have horrible consequences, and then I have a problem with that. Likewise, the reason why I say this extends towards left and right, and it doesn't even matter at this point. When there are people that say, it's so strange to me. I can see why, for instance, the Christian right-wing nationalists are going to be against an Islamic regime, of course. I do not understand why, however, there are liberals that defend these type of Islamic regimes. That I don't understand. Not all do. But I'm saying, do you know what they do to gay people? Which I'm disgusted by what some of these countries do. They throw them from the 9th floor. How are you yeah, let's. I hope that the good Iranian people don't have to deal with this nonsense. And at the same time, I think a regime like that should not have access to nukes. And that's what I think, guys. I mean, I'm just sharing my opinion and just trying to keep it real, because I don't want to be the milk toast. I'm like, oh, I don't know. If I say this, let me first double check and see what the vast majority of my audience thinks. Because if I say something that they disagree with, no, I think you're all adults. You're all people that, if you disagree, you know that I'm willing to listen, but I will also not change and only say things and, oh, I don't know if this is going to upset people. I'm just telling you what I think. Fanaticism is the real problem. I absolutely agree. Fanatism, I don't know how to read it. Luna, I agree with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. You think I'm wrong? Whatever, fine. That's fine. It's okay. Gladly, I live in a country where you can tell me I'm wrong, and that's not a problem. It all goes back to freedom of speech, my friends. I'm not scapegoating Benjamin. Just tell me, instead of trying to manipulate me. You're a long-time viewer. I see you a lot. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But I'm saying horrible anecdotal instances. Okay, well then give me an example as to where I'm wrong. Give me an example as to where I'm wrong, but it's not anecdotal. It isn't. It's like it happens. Tell me one Christian country that takes gay people and puts them, throws them off a cliff. Find one Christian country that does that. No, you know what? In America, let's talk about America for a moment. People complain about the wrong pronoun. That's nothing in comparison to what gay people have to deal with. Just because, yeah, let's be honest. That's not anecdotal. It's the truth. And I speak the truth, man. I don't know what to tell you. I just think that people shouldn't live in fear. That's what I think. People should be allowed to disagree with any religion, I say as a religious man, without fearing consequences. Likewise, going into the secular aspect of the argument, people should be allowed to disagree with any government without fearing repercussions. And that's what I believe. That's what I believe. Yeah. Straight facts. I appreciate that, Jimmy. Appreciate that. I'm just trying to keep it real, guys, because this idea that I have to be careful what you say because you have to say that everything is the same and everything is not equal, and facts speak louder than words, and that's how it is. But then again, as I say, if I am wrong about anything I say, and you can even leave comments under this video. Comments will not be blocked. You can insult me all you want, but I'm saying for the good among you that are not going to insult, but you disagree with something I said, great. Leave a comment in the VOD. The VOD stays up. Leave a comment and show me the evidence. Tell me why I'm wrong. All I care is the truth. So if I am wrong, then great. I will take that back. Veronica says Uganda is your country, where they do that. Well, if they do that, then I strongly disagree with Uganda. I'll have to look into it. But that's why I'm mostly now focusing in the West, because yeah, I mean Christianity, whether you're religious or not, is one of the fundamental bases of Western society, and together with the classics and the Roman Empire and everything that comes from that. And yeah, I mean, there isn't a Western country, and particularly in the United States of America, no one is going to do anything to you when it comes to those things, unless it's like some kind of crazy person, but it's not the government, I'm saying. And that's that. Yeah, let me see one thing. Live chat number. What's the live chat number? You were noticing that. Let me see. How we doing? Yeah. Normal. It's a regular live chat number, I guess. Don't know what you mean. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Philip. Honestly, yeah, no mad government should have nukes. Yeah, the issues most governments with the power of have nukes are kind of mad. Yeah, sure. And I mean, there are situations where we can't intervene, but there are also situations where we can. And so there's that. But then again, I'm not necessarily saying that I agree with this move. I haven't got a clue. I wish it wasn't necessary. I don't know if it was. I don't have access to high military intelligence and information. I don't know if they knew. They knew something. They know something we don't, as the public. But yeah. See. Let's see. Just as usual, I don't want to be disrespectful to people who are donating, so let me have a look. Who is Raymond Ibrahim? But thank you. I know someone has already said that, as I have. Raymond Ibrahim. Who's that? Sounds like a football player. Probably not. Can we stop saying bombing is a declaration of war when we mean it is a casus belli, words of meaning? Sure, but then again, I don't think it's wrong to say declaration of war. And also, a casus belli is not exactly the same. A casus belli is, yeah, it's the reason, the public excuse or reasoning or justification for the beginning of a war. Usually that's what a casus belli is. So in this case, I mean, I guess. But then again, declaration of war in this situation, Yeah, I don't know if it's incorrect to call it a declaration of war. Maybe. You pineapple hater. I am a pineapple hater, absolutely. Lansdo on Twitch says, Hassan Piker just told me the US government is also hanging gay people, but that's not true, and is more evil than Iran. Well, Hassan Piker has lost any relevancy after he said that 9/11 wasn't a big deal, right? Whatever he said, I don't remember the exact words, but then again, Frogan, his lovely right hand, who wanted to bake a cake to celebrate 9/11. Why do these people even have an audience? I don't get it. Why do these people even have an audience? I'll take an Asmongold over Hassan Piker and Frogan any day of the week, and that's not even because of politics. It's because of the stuff they say when it comes to justification of violence. And Asmongold has said some nonsense, but he apologized. Boy, I've never heard Hassan Piker apologize once. Ginger Baker says, so glad she gets sued. Who, Frogan? I know. That's going to be tomorrow's stream. And yeah, she deserves it. 100%. I hope they sue her into oblivion. That's what I'm telling you. I hope they sue her into oblivion. Metatron, they have an audience cause. A lot of people in the US hate their own country. I think, yes, that happens too. But then again, I mean, I don't know. It's so strange. I think there are better people. If you are of that political persuasion, that's fine. But there are better people. I would say drop the person that you're listening to the moment that they cross the line. When do they cross the line? When they justify violence on innocent people. And the people that had to do with 9/11 were innocent. But then again, Hassan Piker recently had as a guest that absolute... a guy that I swore I would never mention ever again on my channel, so I'm not going to mention him. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is, guys. I don't know what to tell you. That's why I asked friends of mine to give me a few replacements, because I'm not going to watch. I stopped, not that I ever watched Hassan Piker, but I was like, I don't want to watch him because of the stuff with 9/11. So can you give me someone else? Because I want to always be in the loop and listen to both sides so that I don't get stuck into an echo chamber. And so I'm like, can you give me someone else? And then they told me, oh, listen to Destiny, he's really good. So I was listening to Destiny and his videos, and I was like, you know what, I like his rhetoric. And then he had to do the whole thing with laughing at the firefighter that got shot. And I'm like, all right, I guess that stops it. And so I stopped it. And then I watched like this Piers Morgan, and I'm like, come on, just say it. You reacted whatever way, but you didn't actually mean it. No, the guy doubled down. I'm like, all right, I'm going to never watch Destiny ever again. So like, it's one of those situations where I am watching people from both sides, but then something happens and I'm like, guys, I need a new name. Guys, I need a new name. Because it's not normal. I mean, I get it. I think people that do a lot of political debates, they must be ticking bombs, because it's a toxic environment. And I will only talk occasional politics, occasional. But someone who does it every day, oh no. I mean, I'm sure that they get to hate the other side so much that, yeah, I think they're effed in their head. Another person that is on the right wing instead that I used to listen to, let me tell you this one, and then we'll continue watching. I've been interrupting the vice president. So there is this person, debater in the right. I used to watch him. Then I didn't like some of the things he said, and I stopped. I'm like, no, this guy, he looks too hateful. I don't like it. So I stopped watching him. But then I found a video from him from 1 year ago, and it changed my perspective completely. And it's Andrew Wilson. So Andrew Wilson is a debater. I think you know him. I know him because I've seen him debate Destiny. But he was always too aggressive for me. I'm like, I don't know. I stopped watching him. But then I found a video from him from a year ago. And let me tell you this much. I misjudged the guy completely. I was completely wrong. Is he an asshole? Yes. 100%. I think he would agree with that. Is he still too aggressive, in my opinion, when it comes to the way he speaks to some women and some guests? Yeah. But he's a good Christian, I'm telling you that much. And I know that this is going to upset some of you. And if it upsets, you haven't watched a specific video from a year ago and you don't know about something that happened in his life. After I watched that, I'm going to say this. Andrew Wilson is a good Christian. I don't agree with some of his positions on Christianity, particularly when it comes to redemption. But I used to think he wasn't a good Christian. I thought he's just an attack dog. That's not our Christian. He's not Christ-like. He's not nice to people. Not that just being Christian means being nice. I know people overuse that. But I misjudged him. Then I watched this video, and I'm like, gosh, I completely misjudged the guy. And I'm telling you this much. He is a good Christian, and his wife is a phenomenal Christian. Because something that they had to do in their life completely changed my opinion about it. Completely. And yeah, I'm just going to say this. They showed compassion. He doesn't show a lot of compassion in his debates, but he's a debater. But they showed compassion to someone who did something horrible to their family many years ago. And when I watched it, it really moved me. So now, I started watching him again. So that changed completely. So now I have respect, particularly his wife. Like his wife, I think she's a much better Christian than me. That's what I think now. Because I don't know if I would have had the same compassion she did. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't know. I mean, he did speak about it publicly, but I don't know if it's a topic that... So I'm not going to go into the details, but I'm just going to say, if you know, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. And you say Andrew's very abrasive, but he's good people. Yeah, that's what I think now. As I say, I had to watch that video from him because I investigate people before I make a full opinion on them. I see, but okay, but what did they say? What did they do? And then I found this video about this tragedy that happened in his family and how they reacted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was incredible. So that's where I'm at. It doesn't mean that I agree with everything the guy says. Obviously not. But I'll give him that. Yeah. Yeah, and when you say Brute on Twitch, you say, I don't like Andrew Wilson as a person, but he does make valid points. I used to not like him as a person until I watched that video. Now I do. So I would suggest you to, yeah, as I say, I can give you the title of, well, then again, I won't, because I don't know how, if maybe it's too personal, then I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to, yeah. Anyways, who is Andrew Wilson? He's like a right-wing debater. And as I was saying, I watch both left and right because I don't want to be in the echo chamber. And he often debates. You probably have seen him. Yeah. But anyways, 20 years later, yeah, there you go. I think you know what it is. Oh, that's a good one, Diesel Cat. I mean, the early church was led by a group of salty fishermen. Man. That's a good one. Yeah, you were saying you want to search that video that I mentioned when it comes to Andrew Wilson. Okay, let me see if I can see the title just for those of you who are interested in seeing and figuring out. Because again, as you are saying here, you don't like some of the vocabulary he uses, the way he speaks, and I get that. And I agree with you. But as a person, the core, I think the core is solid. Anyways, let me see. Yeah, found it. So, yeah. Anyways, if any of you don't think that, if you think Andrew Wilson is a bad person, this is the video that changed. I'm going to show it just for a moment. Venti attacks me for political, it's I think some political opponent that hated him, said Venti attacks me and my wife through death of 10-year-old sick woman. Yeah. So yeah, they lost a child, him and his wife. Again, I don't know how public, so I'm not going to dwell on it. But this video, if you think anything about Andrew Wilson after you watch this video, you'll be like, oh, okay. They're great Christians. I'll leave it to that. I'll just leave it to that. we need to learn, and that taught me a lesson. We need to learn to look beyond politics, guys, and look at the core of the essential of the individual. Because politics draws everything in black and white, and sometimes we could, yeah, I know, and sometimes we could misjudge someone, and it's the wrong thing to do. So yeah, thank you for the support, Matt W. Declaration of war is a formal term in the US. I see only Congress can declare war, and the president's ability to conduct military operations is limited in scope and duration without it. Well, thank you, Matt, for the explanation. As I say, that's why we're here. That's the whole reason about the stream, is stuff like this. And I do say thank you, guys, because I've learned a lot from you today. Lots of different opinions, lots of different... You corrected me on a few things that I was wrong about. Hey, Kenzie, hello. That's my wife right there. And that's her channel, by the way, if you want to check it out. Her channel has been doing really well. She's been growing and all that. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah. So let me check once again the super chats, because I don't want to be disrespectful. What do you think of Wes Huff and his apologetics? I've looked into it. I know exactly who you're talking about. I'll have to do a deeper dive, which I might, for really to really have a full-on idea. Sometimes I feel like that but again, he seems to be very knowledgeable when it comes to scripture. But I think maybe some of his weakness intellectually, from his apologetics perspective, is that when something confirms his ideas, he kind of jumps onto it a little too happily. But this is just a preliminary idea. It's not a full analysis. So I might change my mind. I'm just saying that because, yeah, some of the things he said, when you look at the text, but then again, he's good. He's a good one. But then again, I don't want to present a public opinion that then I'm going to have to retract without having done enough. So we'll see. I'll look into it. Might make a dedicated episode at one point. Oh, I see. Raymond Ibrahim provides, it's a creator, the accurate historical content for the Islamic theology issue. I find it so enlightening personally. I'll check it out, Cozy. Thank you very much for that. He sounded like, I thought of Ibrahimovic, the football player. So yeah, I think I read all the super chats. Great, thank you for that. All right, well, let's have a look at what else Vance is gonna say, and let's see what we can learn. Let's see. What else? So do we get the ceasefire or not?
Talk about the possibility of negotiations. I mean, the Iranian foreign minister responded to the strikes this morning, saying Israel and the U.S. have, quote, blown up diplomacy. Mr. Vice President, is there any real hope for diplomacy, or is diplomacy dead at this point?
Right.
Well, I think the foreign minister is exactly wrong. We didn't blow up diplomacy. We only took this action, Kristen, when it was clear, as the president said, that the Iranians were tapping us along. I think it's important for the American people to appreciate here that if you go back to March of this year,
right,
we had the entire administration engaged in this diplomatic effort. And frankly, in March of this year, we had some optimism. How do we get from there to now? And the answer is we felt very strongly that the Iranians were stonewalling us. They weren't taking this seriously. They were trying to draw this process out as long as possible so that they could rebuild their nuclear weapons program without the threat of American action.
I feel like of course, there is no way for me to know if this is real or not. So I don't know, but it sounds similar to what so this is probably something that they had decided, this is what we're going to say. Maybe it's true. You know, it's not like I trust the Iranian government one bit. So maybe it's true. But I don't know if it's true, and there is no way for us to really verify this. Were they going to build this bomb or not? I don't know. But then again, the Death to America chant does kind of push me towards the idea of, I don't know, maybe it is true at that point. Otherwise, I would have stayed neutral with this completely, because I don't know. The fact that they chant Death to America puts me a little bit on like, yeah, maybe they were going to do that. It does sound a lot like what Netanyahu, I can't pronounce his name, was saying. It's just that he is more articulate. He says it better, to be honest, but we'll see. Let's see. Did you see the Trump-Vance-Zelensky meeting on Ukraine? It was very bad and makes you angry. Oh, what? Did you say thank you? I wonder if it's going to say, did they say thank you for the bomb? I know, I'm just laughing to kind of, I understand it's not a situation to laugh about, but at least no civilians were involved. And also, I think it's a good way to kind of release a little bit of pressure, because even for me, talking about these things is not easy. People, because like, feels like a little bit like walking on shells. Yeah. Metatron, have you ever wondered why they chant that? Yeah, of course. Unless you have a different explanation, then feel free to write it, because I think whatever I'm gonna say, you're gonna say it's a lie, it's false. So, yeah, why did they say that? But regardless, whatever reason they say it, it doesn't matter. If they try to destroy us, we'll destroy them first. It's as simple as that. It's at that point, what am I gonna do? Oh yeah, okay, they have reasons. If you present reasons, so let them destroy us. Yeah. We destroyed their democracy and installed a dictator king. Yeah, but it's not the people. That would be true. Okay, if that's the reason why they say death to US, it would be the people. But the people don't seem to want to be in this situation. It's the government. So how does it work? It feels like there is not logical connection there, unless I'm missing something. I don't think the Iranian people have a problem with us. I honestly don't. Just like I don't have a problem with the Iranian people whatsoever. Good evening, Sam. Thank you, Philip. Have they found the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? Seriously, it's really hard to tell what is true in the news. I absolutely understand the feeling. That's why I'm thinking, rather than me trying to understand this, how about we try to do it as a community? Because as you see, there are people that have different opinions than me, and that's great. I'm grateful for all of you, by the way, here. Yeah. Let's go. Ooh,
let's get more.
Sorry.
And joining me now is
where reset here. The Iranians have a choice. They can go down the path of peace, or they can go down the path of this ridiculous brinksmanship of funding terrorism, of trying to build a nuclear weapon, and that's just not something the United States can accept.
So apart from the nuclear weapon, which we just discussed, I tend to believe it, but I'm not 100% sure. The funding terrorism is real. They did do that. So there's that.
I want to say something, Kristen, just to the Iranian leadership. Look, they have tried to build a nuclear weapons program. That program is now destroyed. Right. They tried to build a conventional missile program to attack neighbors in the region. That missile program has shown to be a failure. They have funded terrorism aggressively in the region, and now most of their terrorism proxies are destroyed. The Iranians are clearly not.
About that, didn't some of the missile go through the Iron Dome? I thought they did and hit Tel Aviv. I'm not sure it completely failed. Thank you, Michael. I just don't think they have many missiles left, to be honest. Well, if someone gifts you a 14-piece matched set of GBU 57s, it's polite to say thanks. Vance probably would agree. I would say so, yeah. Yeah, sure. Let me see. Let's go.
Not very good at war. Perhaps they should follow President Trump's lead and give peace a chance. If they're serious about it, I guarantee you the President of the United States is too.
So has the administration received any messages from the Iranians since the attack overnight?
That's good to know, yeah.
Well, Kristen, I think as we sit here, it's been about 12 hours since what happened last night. We have received some indirect messages from the Iranians, and it's possible, of course, that some of my colleagues in the administration received something early this morning, and I haven't heard about it. But look, our expectation is we're going to learn a lot about what the Iranians want to do, how they want to proceed over the next 24 hours. Again, I just can't be clear enough here. The president has said he wants now to engage in a diplomatic process. But if the Iranians are not going to play ball here, they didn't leave us many options as it pertains to last night, and they won't leave us many options.
Napoleon says there is a ceasefire officially. Hey guys, if the ceasefire thing is real, that is something to celebrate. If the ceasefire is real, then that's good. Because whenever bombs stop falling and whenever projectiles stop going into the windows of civilians, that's always something to be happy about at the end of the day. That's what I want over everything. It's actual, real, lasting peace for the for the common people, which is always the people that I'm worried about. I'm always worried about the common people. Yeah.
In the future.
If Iran disrupts shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, which of course handles about a quarter of the world's oil trade, would that be a red line for the United States, Mr. Vice President?
Right.
Well, Kristen, I think our biggest red line is the Iranian nuclear weapons program. That is really what the president has said we need to get rid of.
But what about the Strait of Hormuz?
Steps towards doing that last night. Well, I think that would be suicidal, Kristen, for the Iranians themselves. I mean, their entire economy runs through the Strait of Hormuz. If they want to destroy their own economy and cause disruptions in the world, I think that would be their decision. But why would they do that? I don't think it makes any sense. I don't think that it makes sense for them or for anybody else. What would make sense is for them to come to the negotiating table, to actually give up their nuclear weapons program over the long term. And again, if they're willing to do that...
I honestly think this is going to be a cycle, because it looks like the answer is always going to be the pivotal role of this, the pivotal item of discussion is going to be the nukes, the nukes, the nukes. Yeah. China told Iran to stop the blockade. Really? Yeah, you say it's a ceasefire until it's not. I hope you are wrong. Yeah, they did declare a ceasefire. We'll have, some people are obviously skeptical. I understand. I'm skeptical with you guys. I just hope that it is true. Because at the end of the day, what can they do apart from actual cells and terrorism at the local level? I don't think that they have the military capability to actually engage in symmetrical warfare. I really don't. Let's have a look at this situation with the attack that Preston Stewart covered. Iran attacks US base, because before the ceasefire, they did do an attack onto American assets in the region. But it looks... Well, I won't comment. Let's just let the man speak.
So it looks like that was the Iranian response, like all of it, which if so would be pretty underwhelming. I mean, at this point, we're tracking 0 casualties, killed or wounded, no real damage to the U.S. airbase in Qatar, and it looks like most, if not all of the missiles...
In Qatar, right? Did he say in Qatar? This happened in Qatar, yes. Man, the Qatar is going to be pissed.
...were likely intercepted. On top of all of that, this looks like it was choreographed. There was advanced warning given to Qatar and the United States that Iran was going to fire these missiles. So it's a dance in a lot of ways.
Right.
Now, what we know so far, because this attack did just take place in the last hour or so, is somewhere between 10 and 14 missiles, short and medium-range ballistic missiles, were fired from Iran at the U.S. airbase in Qatar. That's the Al Udeid Air Base. There were initially reports that they'd been fired at multiple bases. It looks like all of the bases maybe went on alert. Qatar, as of now, is the only one that actually was on the receiving end of any strikes. So the IRGC put out a statement saying the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has targeted the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar with a devastating and powerful missile attack in Operation Bashar al-Fatah. Roughly translates to Operation Victory, News of Victory. Kind of get the idea there. They say this base is the headquarters of the Air Force and the largest strategic asset of the U.S. terrorist army in the West Asia region. We've seen Iran...
Okay, so he does sound theatrical. Even this guy says that. That's insane. Joshua said... Some of the ways you guys get offended. Not you guys noble ones. I mean, the occasional person gets offended. It's so absolutely... Anyways, you say... Qatar is mean to the gays, though. Remember that thing that's very important to you? Of course it is important to me. What do you mean it's mean? You're an... Oh my gosh, you know who you're talking to? I'm the guy who debunked all of the LGBT activists every time they twisted nonsense with the history. I'm that guy. With that being said, yeah, I want people, regardless of their sexuality, being straight, gay, or whatever the heck, I don't want them to be pushed out of the 9th floor. Can you see the difference in like, oh my gosh, you've got to be a troll. You have to be a troll. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I reiterate. I don't want consensual adults. You do whatever you want. It's freedom, right? Okay? I live my life according to tradition and according to Christianity. You live your life however you want. I have no problem with you. If you change history, I'll debunk the shit out of you. And I don't care if that makes me, oh, now you're a bigot, call me bigot. I don't give a shit. I'll still debunk it. With that being said, no, I don't want any violence towards groups of people because of immutable characteristics of their, whether it be white people, whether it be gay people, whether it be straight people, whether it be whatever the heck. So yeah, that is my stance. I guess I needed to, so here we are. Right. So that's that. I guess that's a very offensive position. Here we are. Yeah, anyways, let me see what else he says.
And proxy forces like Hezbollah and the Houthis and some militias come out celebrating this, praising it across a variety of Iranian channels. They're talking about multiple impacts and complete destruction.
Propaganda, it's nonsense.
Of the airbase. We're not really seeing any evidence of that at this point.
Yeah.
Again, all the footage we have appears to show a good number of interceptions, and there's nothing that I've been able to come across now that actually shows missiles impacting on the. We have a fire by the side of the road, but that seems to be about it, which is kind of what you would expect if everybody knew this was about to happen.
Yeah, why did they say it? This is again, it does look theatrical. It looks like performative. Why did they tell their enemies that they were going to shoot in
which looks like it was the case. So Iranian sources are telling the New York Times kind of behind the scenes that Tehran coordinated the attack with the United States and Qatar to minimize the damage. Iran needed the ability to respond symbolically, but allow the United States to get out of it. The sources noted that this is a similar pattern of action to Iran's revenge response for the assassination of Qasem Soleimani in January 2020 in launches against the Al-Assad airbase in Iraq.
Yeah.
And look, everything kind of points to that being true. I mean, there was another report here by Reuters saying Iran warned the United States through 2 diplomatic channels hours before the attack.
No, I know. This is old news. We already talked about the ceasefire. I'll check it out, the ceasefire thing. I was still interested in this, though, because they did shoot, and I wanted to see what happened. But it looks like, yeah, it was some kind of performative action. I wonder to reach what result. Maybe they wanted to do this before ceasefire, so it looks less weak. Do you think that could be it? Maybe. I'm just trying to make it make sense. So anyways, you said there is a, let me see. Who said it again? Who made the statement that there is a that an official ceasefire? So I'm going to check the tweet. Who did it? Yeah. Let me see. The nukes that they spoke about since 1993. So Teledra on Twitch, I do understand where they're coming from. I did see a collage of video clips of Netanyahu saying the same thing since, the 90s. Constantly saying they're almost going to make the nuke. They're almost... And I can only read it in 2 ways. Either... Yeah, of course, the one would be he's just going to keep saying that, but it's not true. Or they were close to doing it, but we kept blocking them and preventing them. So I don't know which one it is. I have no idea. But I did see that video. I think I know what you're talking about. Trump did it, but it's not true. Well, you know what? I hope you're wrong. Truth Social, I don't know. I've never opened Truth Social, so he didn't post on Twitter. Oh, is it because it's... and by the way, talking about that for a moment, is it? I was going to say, is it because he's now had that fallout with Elon Musk, which, by the way, I do not think for 1 second that that's true. Not a chance. Not a chance, guys. Sorry to change the topic for a second, but do you actually believe that that was a fallout between Trump and Elon Musk? I do not believe it for a second. That was a performance. Guys, that was a performance. Yeah. No, I know that Trump owns Truth Social, of course. I'm saying if he only posted on Truth Social, but he didn't post on Twitter, I didn't know. You say 50-50, it's real? I do not believe it's real. Let me tell you why. The reason why I don't think that that situation with Elon Musk is real is because the language used. Come on. Trump said that he punched him in the face, and that's why he had a black eye? Because he needed to put him in his place? Come on. It's theater. It's comedy. It's comedy. For what reason? Oh, that? I don't know. It's beyond my pay grade. I guess they knew that everyone would have reacted to it, and so maybe that did spark some attention. I have no idea. I don't know why. But I do not believe it for a second. He punched him in the face? Come on. Could you imagine? Imagine it for a second. Let's remove the words from the paper and put them into our mind. Can you imagine a situation where they are somewhere in a room and then Elon Musk says something upsets Trump and Trump gives him a right hook? There's no way. And then Elon Musk said the thing about the Epstein files, said, have a good one, Donald J. Trump, DJT. You know what they're going to do? They said that because everyone is going to be like, oh my gosh, Trump is in the Epstein files, big situation. And then what's going to happen, mark my words, clip this. And then what's going to happen is when the whole little theatrical fight is over, they'll say, yeah, here are the Epstein files. And yeah, his name is in there, but not because he was involved. He was just in there because I don't know, he's famous, and so people knew him, and there was something that they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. And the left hook, would it be? Oh, it would have been a left hook, even better. Maybe an uppercut. And here's the other thing. So it won't matter. That statement is not like the big deal. It created a massive move, dust, but I don't believe it. And then Trump said that Tesla cars are not that good anyways. They're girly cars. It's theatrical. I don't believe it, guys. I don't know. I just don't think there was I can imagine Trump and Elon Musk behind the scenes planning this. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I can already imagine them be like, hey, so I'm going to tell them this. I'm going to tell them your name is in the Epstein file. And you're going to say that you punched me. And they're like, yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to say that your cars are girly. That's how I imagine it. I don't believe it. Why? Oh, I don't know why. As I say, it's above my pay grade, but it's just the way. Why, do you actually believe that Trump punched Elon Musk in the face to put him in his place? I haven't got a clue, guys. I don't know. What I'm noticing is it's either this, Elon Musk, and then there is the war. Then there are the aliens in Mexico. Then there are these other aliens in the sky. Talking about it, I'm going to show you a video that I took about aliens. Then they're gonna in a second. Then it's this other thing that it's always something. It's like they want the public to be distracted. But this could be me. Anyways, let me show you, talking about aliens. So the other night, I was outside here and I took some footage, guys, and it freaking looks like a spaceship. It doesn't mean that I believe it, okay? Before people are like, oh, Metatron is a nut job. No, I get it. It's probably something else. But I took the clip, okay? So it's not something I saw on the internet. I was there. And I'm going to show it to you. And then you tell me, nah, Metatron is just a helicopter. Fine. But you've got to give me that this... So you see that point of light? That's me with my phone outside. And there is a point of light there. And look what happens. Look what happens. That's outside my house. I mean, it does look like a freak. What is it? It actually reminds me of the Ophanim in the Bible, the ring within rings, angels that fly. celestial beings. But whatever, that's just my mind. It's me. I was outside. I was looking at the sky. So here in the US, I saw that thing. Now, given, again, I'm happy for you to tell me, maybe it's a searchlight. I don't know. It's an Italian, it could be. Optical illusion, but I saw it with my own eyes. It was in the sky. So the only thing I can think of, I thought maybe it's a plane, but I don't see the red and green light. So would it be a situation that it just so happened that the clouds, because it's cloudy, covered the red and green light that you have for regular flying planes, but maybe this light was too strong, like a signal? You think it's a supernova? It sounded like a plane, though. Like it sounded like a flying something. So it did make a sound. But anyways, I filmed this. Again, I didn't get it. Drone with RGB lights, chromatic aberration on a regular plane. Maybe it's a helicopter searchlight. It could be. But you have to give me that, though. I was outside. I'm hearing this weird sound. I was half expecting just a little percentage of me, like a 0.3%. But I was expecting a massive green light and all the cows flying in the air. That's what I was expecting. So I was like, ooh, have I got an alien spaceship outside? Of course not. I don't think it is. But I'm just saying it freaking looks like it, though. So I took it myself. This is me. I took it myself. And I will give you this much. For a split second, at first I thought it was a planet, then it started moving. It does look trippy, yeah. And at first it looked stationary. That's another thing. It looked stationary, and I thought, okay, that's a planet, Venus, maybe. Then it started moving, and I'm like, uh-oh, why is it moving? And then I could hear the sound. So, is the clouds moving? No. It was that's me following the object with the phone. Yeah, so I don't know. It was cool. I thought it was cool. Anyways, again, I don't believe it's an alien thing, but I would like to know what the heck it was. See, I would like to know what it was. But this is the video. How long? It was already there. See, I was walking my dogs. It's an angel. It could be, but if it is, that's a little disrespectful because they should let me know. You know? But whatever. So, I do get it, though. The Ophanim are a little weird with things like that. That's why I prefer to work with cherubs. Anyways, so I was saying, I was outside walking the dogs, and then I noticed it. I took a few pictures, and it was still there. And I thought it was like a Venus, whatever, planet. But then it started moving, and then so I started recording, and here we are. So anyways, maybe it was the aliens. And if it was the aliens, I think they'll come and kidnap me, guys. So I kind of wanted to share that. And still coming from this, I got a new on my I just showed. This is a new Ken that I just got, and then there is this amazing ancient Roman mask made by the Pustelak brothers on Facebook. If you want Roman stuff, helmets, they are the best. Oh, this was so laughable as well that I watched this girl thinking she could overpower that guy and he lifted her up like a doll. It was funny. This is my new setup, by the way, present from my wife, and it was very nice to receive. But yeah, so anyways, let's get back to chat. I think I watched enough for now. I did wanted to see this thing, but as I say, I don't have a Truth Social account, so I don't know. But anyways, I believe you. If you tell me that so Trump made the statement that there is a ceasefire, I hope it's true. At this point, I really hope it's true. Yeah. Angel glowing with 7 colors and then move around. Metatron, you should have let me know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know how it is. You should have let me know. Just one of those things. And I love that you think that this is a filter. I love it. You humans crack me up. Let me see. Oh, that's a funny one. The aliens will land here because of ice. Ooh. You know what? It's, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this much. Comedy is not dead with me. I know people are all like, oh, careful because you're going to offend. That was a funny joke. I say, as a legal alien, I am an alien. Anyways. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Let me see. Spaceballs, yeah. Possibly a drone. Maybe it was a drone. Don't drone have the red and green light, though? That's the thing I wanted to spot. Unidentified flying object. Yeah, if exactly, Benjamin. There you go. Yeah. Cool mask, thank you. It was the last bit of common sense leaving the planet. Ooh, maybe. You know, it's true. We should stop calling it common sense. It's definitely not common these days. It should be rare sense. I'm going to call it rare sense from now on. I think you need to lay off the pasta. You're absolutely right, Baron. Too much pasta, but we went to Trader Joe's the other day and I got myself some really good pizza. They have the best pizza ever. Musk has anger issues. He accused the first responder before of being... really? Yeah, but with the president, you've got to keep your anger issues with the president, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, that's not professional, I agree with you. Trump quote is on Twitter, White House account. All right, let's have a look, because I want to see what the quote is to have a full, you know, White House then. Account, I guess. The White House. It's gray, so it's gotta be the, let me see. There are a few guys. I don't know how many White Houses do you guys have. So we've got, which one is it? The White House? The white, yeah, I guess it's this one. Gray means government, right? Or is it wrong? Is the congratulations? Well, it's time for peace. Is this the one? No, this is pinned. So I don't think it's the one. I don't know. You'll tell me if it's the correct one. No problem, Lady Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. The White House. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if we see the part where they announce the ceasefire, if it's here. Because that's what I'm interested in. But I guess I'm going back too much. Maybe it's another one. I'll see. I'll figure it out. It doesn't really matter right now. I believe you guys, so I don't necessarily need to see it. If you tell me that he announced a ceasefire, then let's just hope that it's true. Because that's what I'm really interested in, to be honest. Because if it is, some of you are saying it's a lie, but if it is a lie, what's the purpose of the lie? If it's not true, and then they're going to attack anyways, I don't see what would you gain from it. So that's why I'm hoping that it's real and that actually was, because it would make sense. Unless they are completely self-annihilating, they should understand that they can't, it would be complete asymmetrical warfare. So I guess we'll have to see. This guy is pretty good, though, at explaining stuff. I'll have to watch more of his content. Yeah, drones have identified lights unless they don't. How do you regulate drones? I have no idea, to be honest. The alien are among us. Flying pineapple pizza, maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let me have a look at... let me have a look. How is Twitch? Yeah, word. Rare sense is now canon. I agree, Dreamheart. That's how I'm going to call it from now on. Rare sense, not common sense. Because it's gone, guys. It's only a few of us left. Yeah. To call it good sense. Well, sure, but it's because common. I kind of want to find the opposite thing. Thank you for being a member for a month, Alexandra. Appreciate that. Hatred for Parthia is somehow also Roman. Well, yeah, in ancient times, I guess, but the Romans hated everyone. So there is that. Doesn't really tell us much, does it? They hated everyone equally. Only exception being the Greeks. I'm actually being historical about that. Uncommon sense. That's another good one. Yeah, I actually like that one better. Because if you say rare sense, people might not understand it. But if you say uncommon sense, boom, canonized. Thank you, First of the Magi. Have some uncommon sense, people. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. Pineapple on pizza getting off the planet. Yeah, possible. I hope so. Let me check the stream health. Yeah, looking good. Very good, in fact. Cool. So yeah, no, tomorrow stream, unless there is any other like announcement and situation here, and then I don't know, they break the ceasefire, whatever the heck. I think tomorrow stream, I would like to talk about the situation with H3 suing those creators that were not being fair with their use. So that's a story I'd like to discuss also, because it has to do with what is fair use in terms of React, since I myself have been doing some React. Today's video wasn't a React, though. It's a really good one. You should go check it out. But yeah, no, that's one thing I wanted to have a look at, including Frogan. Yeah, first one that should be sued into oblivion. Tomorrow I'm gonna celebrate Frogan being sued. But yeah. So since she likes to celebrate 9/11, I'm gonna celebrate her being sued. How about that? We're gonna make a cake for it. We're gonna get a cake. Ooh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna have a cake. Oh my gosh, that's great. Why do you guys are the best? You always inspire me. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have a cake to celebrate Frogan being sued. Because she's the one in, right? Yes, exactly. Because she's the one that was making the cake to celebrate 9/11. She said she was going to build the cake. That's what she said. It's insane. Celebrate, she wanted to make the little Twin Towers and then have the plane destroy the Twin Towers made of cake. She said she was going to do that. Well, I'm going to make a cake to celebrate her being sued into freaking oblivion. Cake and champagne. Oh yeah, my friend. Be here for it. Celebrating death of innocence. Exactly. That's what pisses me off. I just don't get, no matter the ideology. Me neither. That's where I draw the line. You can have all of the understanding. We can disagree on geopolitics. We can disagree on history. We can disagree on anything. We can disagree on economics. We can disagree on whatever. And I will respect your point. But if you laugh at innocence, I don't care about the color of those innocents at that point. I'm going to make a cake now. I'm making a cake, guys. What do you guys think? Let's choose the cake. What are we doing? Cheesecake? Hey, Metatron, how do you like America since living here? I love it. God bless America. I love America. I don't love everything about America, obviously, before people are like, Metatron is a... But I do love America. I love being here. It's great. Chocolate cake? Maybe. Chocolate cake? Feel free to disagree, but stay respectful. That too, yeah, sure. Sure. Cheesecake, yeah, Melanie. I'm thinking some kind of cheesecake because we need to celebrate this. Pineapple cake? Never ever. Although then again, pineapple on a cake is fine. Okay? Pineapple on a pizza is not fine. But I'm not having pineapple cake. Yeah, no, I think Italian creme cake. Sounds more French than Italian, to be honest. Oh, cream cake, sorry. I don't know why I read it the French way. Yeah, maybe that could be velvet. Velvet is good, but maybe I'm more into maybe some pie. I might have an array of cakes to celebrate this. A good old tiramisu. That's a good point, Taledra. That's a good point. I mean, we could get... Maybe should be something Italian. Maybe we should have something Italian and something American. Just to piss her off even more. Double West. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. I could do that. Blueberry. Ooh, blueberry. Thank you, Nevi. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. New York pizza. New York cheesecake. How about the New York cheesecake, guys? Yeah, make something Italian-American. I'll have to think about it. What could piss her off the most? Maybe like, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Angel food cake. Maybe, but I think I'm in the mood for, I don't know, we'll have to see. Pecan pie? Probably not. Save me a slice. I will, my friend. Yeah, maybe like a cherry pie, like an old American pie could be a good idea. Wouldn't it be funny if someone joins the stream right now and they're expecting me to talk about the war, which we have. They see the vice president and we're talking about pie and cheesecake? I mean, that's me all right, though. Isn't it? Something giving us second-hand calories. Yeah. Vast majority of Italians in my area in Germany are Sicilian. Cool. I guess we like relocating. Bacon cake. Oh, no. Absolutely not. No bacon cake, please. Get Max Miller to make a historical American dessert. That would have been cool, but yeah, I should have planned it. Man, this idea of the cake is great, though. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so gonna do it. Apple pie is as American as apple pie. Ooh, I could like an apple. Don't mess up with my panettone. Yeah, I never really liked panettone. I'm more of a Pandoro guy. In Italy, I don't know if you know this, but it's literally two factions. It's two factions. It's people that like panettone and people that like Pandoro. And usually those who like Pandoro, like me, hate panettone. So these are like Italian, northern Italian traditionally, but now they're everywhere in Italy. Traditional Christmas, kind of sweet breads, sweet. It's not a cake though. How would you describe it, Daniele? But anyways, yeah. So these are typical Italian Christmas food that we eat. Yeah, for dessert. And for me, it's Pandoro. Which is which? I'll show you. It's kind of a soft, sweet bread, yes, but it's kind of difficult to explain it because yeah, let me show you anyways. So, Pandoro and Panettone. Absolutely hate Panettone, never liked it in my life. So anyways, this is Pandoro. So as you can see, it's got sugar on the top. It's like powder sugar on the top. It's sweet. A ton of butter. And yeah, it's really good. Then there are special versions now with a lot of stuff inside, but the traditional one doesn't have anything inside. It's just a slice of sweet bread-like, very soft bread that contains, but it's very sweet, just to give you an idea, a lot of butter in it and sugar. Now you can have it with custard, with cherry, with chocolate, but those are not traditional. And then this is panettone, which instead has, it's this one here, and I hate it. Raisins, right? And I hate the raisins, so it's just one of those things. Then again, though, considering how old of a tradition these are, I can see it in period. I can see it make sense, like for people that didn't have much, and this would be nice, cheap, make the kids happy, then I'm all for it. I think it depends in the context, right? For me, it's Pandoro all the way. If I get a choice, it's Pandoro. So yeah. You prefer spaghetti bolognese? Well, at that point, let's do tagliatelle alla bolognese, but whatever. Yeah, sure. I mean, my dad will eat spaghetti alla bolognese, not like no one does it. Yeah, sure. I can have that for dinner, and then we can have this. I can't stand raisins. I'm sorry. I don't like them. No. You love both. Well, sure. But you have a preference. I know you do. Fettuccine. Fettuccine. I don't know what that is, but I think you mean fettuccine. I had fettuccine al pesto just the other day. Went to the restaurant with my wife. I had some fettuccine al pesto. They were great. SPQR means Senate and the people of Rome. Yeah. Senatus populusque Romanus. The Senate and the people of Rome. Yeah, it has nothing to do with kings. No, it's the Senate. Raisins are trash. I agree with that. Yeah, tagliatella alla bolognese, buonissimo. Stracciatella. Is it like a vanilla with chocolate? But is it vanilla? Maybe it's not vanilla. Maybe it's more of like a cream ice cream. Like a milk ice cream with pieces of chocolate in it. That's how I would describe stracciatella. Unless you mean the cheese, because there is also cheese with... Is it a cheese or is it... Yeah, it's a stracciatella. It's also a type of cheese, if I'm not wrong. But usually stracciatella in the dessert context means that, and you can have it as a gelato, yeah. So gelato alla stracciatella is this one. Yeah, as you can see, it has pieces of chocolate in it, but the base is more like a milky type of ice cream. This is stracciatella. It's excellent. I like it a lot. Not my favorite. I prefer Nutella. If I'm going to go for a gelato, I'm going to go for Nutella with panna. Why are we talking about this? Yeah, stracciatella is also a type of, I think, cheese, if I'm not wrong. Yes, there we go. That's it. It's a type of cheese, stracciatella, yeah. Very creamy. It's kind of similar to burrata in a way, a little bit. Because you know what burrata is? Burrata is basically, I can make it. I make it at home sometimes. Burrata. A burrata is basically you take a mozzarella, you cut it, remove all of the inside, cut it in little pieces, mix it with fresh milk, and put it back in. It's nice, but I usually don't eat it very often because it's a little bit on the sweeter side, if you will. Not because you add sugar, I'm just saying. You can put a little bit of olive oil, though, and it creates a nice contrast. And then some fresh cherry tomatoes, excellent. But I still prefer buffalo mozzarella. Like, you give me buffalo mozzarella, I'll have that. But I'll have a burrata every once in a while. And I say, you can make it at home. It's very easy to make it. Yeah. Drones are regulated by the FAA just like airplanes. They have to have the red and green. Yeah, exactly. If they don't, it's illegal. Excellent. So, was it a drone then? Probably not. I don't know what it was. What happened to JD? Why did you have to change him into a... Well, people have been changing the guy in everything. Have you seen all the memes? So I guess this is one more. There he is. There is... Isn't there limoncello ice cream? It wouldn't surprise me. In Italy, there is ice cream for everything. Everything. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. Tonight, I'm making pizza tonight. Maybe, yeah. History series on Italy. That could be fun, yeah. Bruschetta. Please don't read it bruschetta. It's bruschetta, just so you know. Yeah, I love bruschetta. It's nice. Fettuccine is fine too, totally, with bolognese, yeah. Yeah. With pineapple, never, ever. Goodness gracious, pineapples need to stay in wherever the exotic lands. Milk or cream? I don't know if people use cream to make it, or if they just use regular milk. I think it's regular milk, but don't quote me on that. Do I make my own pizza? In the sense, sometimes we used to do it a lot back home with my dad. So we would buy like from... Yes, so there are ways to do it. You can either buy already the... you can either do it from scratch completely. A little less common. You can buy the dough. And so basically you just need to stretch it and then... Or you can even buy just the basically the pizza round and then you put the whatever condiments. Yeah, we used to do that a lot. 1 second, please. So there is that. Anyways. Do you eat horse? I don't. Because I'm from the west of Sicily and we don't really do that. But in the east of Sicily, some people do eat, yeah, they will make a horse sandwich. Yeah. When it comes to grappa, it's everywhere in Italy. My dad likes it. I'm not a fan of grappa. It's an alcoholic drink, by the way. I think it's made with grapes, but it's a lot stronger usually than wine. So it's a super alcoholic drink. I don't know how. Don't imagine whiskey though. Grappa is ours. So yeah, for people in Friuli. And yeah, my dad is from Friuli exactly, so he loves it. We always have a grappa in the house. It's made with grapes, right? That's if I'm right. I think I'm correct. Horse is supposed to be good. I think it's on the sweeter side. Horse meat. Yeah, grape skins. There you go. Of course, yeah. Shark is good. I've never had shark. Goodness gracious. So yeah. Is Italy divided in states or provinces? Regions. Italy is divided in regions. So like Sicily, it's a region, and Piemonte, Lazio, Campania, Abruzzo, Molise, all the other ones, Puglia, Calabria. Yeah. But anyways, I think I'm going to call it a night, guys, after the mozzarella, because I'm going to have to go make that pizza. But I want to really thank you again for your generosity. Thank you for explaining things. Thank you for not calling me names, except for one who called me a liar. And I really appreciate that. And most importantly, I really want to thank you for all the memberships. We got 50 memberships tonight. That's amazing. Really, really incredible. I appreciate that. And I also want to thank you for all the super chats and for taking the time to be here and talk about this. So tomorrow, I'm going to go live again. And we'll probably talk about that situation with the cake. I'll have the cake ready, guys. And usually, as usual, at 5. And more videos in the mix. If you liked today's upload on the channel, more to come this week. It's going to be a great week, guys. It's going to be a great week. But anyways, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you all. I will not break my pasta. Thank you for that, Cozy. Have a good night, guys. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Ciao, ciao, ciao.